I find that even in the early moments before sessions begin, conversation happens. That is valuable. But I find that it's a certain kind of person
That can see
that
the value in it.
this isn't an easy thing, right? It's
Yeah.
not an easy thing. And there truly are no assurances. There's no guarantees. In fact, what we can be confident in saying is that there is no safety net, right?
Right.
What it is that we're doing removes any safety net that has ever existed, you know? Uh,
Exactly.
and this isn't an easy thing. Furthermore, if one has never gone to a place where they saw that that safety net didn't exist, it's very difficult for them to recognize the areas in their lives where it does, right? So I hear a lot of my brothers and sisters in America complain, and rightly so. This is absolutely abnormal, but it is very important to be able to define what it is that you do gain from this society. See, if you don't know the differences between kind of what is being given to you, what benefit you have, what it is that you take for granted versus what it looks like when that isn't there, then you don't have a full view kind of into the steps necessary to get out of that, you know?
Right. And with this particular group of people, I was the only one in the group that had actually lived on the continent before.
Mhm.
And I was also the only American. So I understood the benefit. I kept trying to explain to them, like, you definitely want contacts. You don't want to go in blind. I'm like, some of the things that we will go through, people are just going to see us as a cash cow. Like, everything I already understood, they couldn't understand. Well, why can't we just do that on our own? Like, why do we have to, like, they didn't get it because they haven't been.
Right.
And so it just got to the point where it was like too much for me to keep trying to convince them of the value in it. So I just decided, okay, you'll go and you'll see for yourself, or you won't see for yourself, or you'll trust the people that are telling you, oh, you can do this and you can do that, who've never been there, or who don't have actual contacts, or the contacts they have, they're already uh they're already chopping their money, and they think these are good contacts, and it's the first. I'm like, you never trust the first people you meet there. They're just gonna, so it's like, she's like, oh, well, I have a friend there, and the lady that she's renting her Airbnb from, she's helping her, she's doing this, not knowing that of course she's gonna give you everything you want when you first get there, because she doesn't want you to go to anyone else.
That's right. That's right. And you can't know these things. See, and I'm so glad to have you here and to have this conversation. Jasmine, greetings to you, sister. Sister Latasha. Oh my goodness. There you go. There's my sister. How are you? I'm sorry, Sister Latasha. Peace. So, what you said was so very interesting because the majority of the people that have repatriated, and I am not casting aspersion. I am simply saying that this is how it has worked. The majority of the people that have repatriated to Africa generally go to Ghana because they listen to somebody else. First of all, Ghana is the most expensive country I've ever been in, right?
Yep.
In relation to African countries. I've never been in a more expensive country than Ghana, right? But what happens is, and I know you know this, is that those people that have repatriated to Ghana are reaching back to their contacts in the United States, and they're saying, come to Ghana. It's awesome. You can do this, you can do that, you can do the other thing. This is because in their repatriating, they don't have an economy, right? There's no jobs for them to be able to take their skills and use there. So they don't have any real way of supporting themselves.
Yep.
And so their outreach back to the people in America, trying to convince them to repatriate, is how they're trying to live, right?
Yep.
This is
I've
what they're
been there,
trying
done
to
that.
live on.
Yep.
And so And the problem is this: the majority of those that you see that have repatriated today, either they came into a windfall and they moved over there, or they had their social security
Yep.
and they moved over, right? The majority of repatriates that have gone into Africa have done so kind of singularly, and each of them has experienced the pain, right? There's going to be a culture shock. There is an absolute culture shock that's going to happen when you get to Africa, right? Ain't no park ranger there, right? Ain't no park ranger. Ain't no one there to save you, right? The
Right.
sun goes down, the police don't just automatically come. It's not like that, right?
Right.
So the average repatriate has done so in a singular capacity. They've gone, they've moved there, and they've experienced the challenges, right? Once you get on the ground, if you don't have resource, again, I can guarantee you, you're going to bump into challenges surrounding water. You're going to bump into challenges surrounding supplies and travel, and the access to supplies. These are very, very common. And so what happens is you have a lot of brave people that have repatriated to Africa, and they have successfully endured the storms, which are absolutely natural. They are
Right.
natural, right? There are some that have endured. Here's the challenge. And to your point, right? That group that had never lived in Africa, that had never been to Africa, and kind of the ignorance relative to the questions that they need to ask and have answered, right? Thinking that they can get on the ground and they can figure it out. The average repatriate is going to go to Africa, and they're going to be there for 2 years, and they're going to drain every single penny that they've ever earned, and they will be back in the original place that they came from in 2 years, average. If Ghana did it, right, at the during the year of return and prior, Ghana made available, and there's many offers available out there that are legitimate offers where Ghana said, come, we got land for you. come and build your home. It sounds attractive, but again, the real issue is that there is no economy. What are you going to do? How are you going to survive, right? You've got to be able to produce for yourself. And when you get there, again, it's going to be a culture shock, because the level of hustle that Africans engage in, it makes what we do. Yeah, I thought I was big and bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming from the city, right? I know what hustle is. No, I didn't know what hustle is. Not until you see a motorcycle with 8 coffins stacked up on the back and somebody moving them. You don't know what hustle is, right? And so the challenges associated with repatriating as an individual, I don't care where we're coming from, whether it be UK, whether it be South America, it doesn't matter where you're coming from or where you are going to. There are a finite number of things that you are going to encounter, right? You're going to need to stabilize your water first and foremost, right? You're going to need to be able to stabilize your shelter, your food. These things are static, okay? Unfortunately, the common model today is a setup for failure. I don't care where you go. I don't care where you go. If um, your accent, first of all, your money. They see you, they know you're not from there, right? You are money. You are a payday for them. They don't expect to see you tomorrow. They're going to try to get whatever they can get. So anything that you need to buy, even if you've got a contact, you've got a friend that lives in Africa, that's awesome. That doesn't matter. What's going to happen is everything that you need to buy is going to be marked up at least 3 times, because every person that sees you is trying to eat. It ain't personal, right? It's not personal. And so the model relative to repatriation has been flawed. It's been very flawed, because it basically sets up a colonizer dark where, our people go over, build great big walls and try to live like it was Fantasy Island. It's not how it is. That's not how it works. And it is, in fact, from my perspective, we are a very special people, having come through circumstance that has never been witnessed in human history before. We've come through it with our morality, with our empathy, with our creativity and love, and all of these things intact. My father demonstrated them. His father, the highest attributes in humans, I saw demonstrated in our people. So for me personally, it is not appropriate for us to go back into Africa like refugees that have nothing to offer Africa. That's not the way to do it. And then roll the dice and hope that we make it, and hope that Africa can accommodate those that are there and then accommodate us as well. Without that doesn't make sense to me. Africa has been hemorrhaging for 400 years, ever since her baby was ripped from her womb. And what, in my estimation, what is appropriate is that we pick up our scars, our pains, our damages, our insecurities, and we take an inventory of those things. But while we take an inventory, we also inventory those things that we have seen, our experiences, the lessons learned, all of those things that we have seen in America, the failed models that they've launched, the successful models that they have launched. We need to take an inventory. When I was young, I remember the Chinese, and again, Malcolm X made mention of this. He made mention of the fact that there used to be a saying where they said you didn't have a Chinaman's chance, right? And that was because China was very weak. The United States had begun 2 opium wars, strung out their entire populations to try to steal from China. China was very, very weak. And then Mao Zedong came into power and made differences in that. But at that point, there was a saying that said they didn't have a Chinaman's chance. When I was young, I remember, this was after the transition of Brother Malcolm, but I remember the Chinese would come to our cities as tourists, and they weren't taking pictures of the touristy things. They weren't taking pictures of those things that the tour was focusing on. They were taking pictures of bridges. They were taking pictures of buildings. They were taking pictures of the streets and the layouts and the way it was done. And they were taking those pictures and bringing them back to China. And today, China owns all of America, right? China did that. So let's do a level set. China is for herself, and they do business in a nasty way. Let me tell you, I've had to sit in negotiation with the Chinese, and let me tell you, they are cutthroat. They're nasty. You can't trust them. You have to watch their contracts. And yet, that's what I expect. I expect them to be a self-advocate. They're supposed to be looking out for their best interests, just like I'm supposed to be looking out for my best interests. I can't be mad at that, right? I can't be mad at that. So I say that to say, I do not believe that we should go back into Africa as refugees, begging Mother Africa to be able to accommodate us. I believe that we have engineers, we have existed in their universities, we have skills that have been devalued every single day of our lives. When you speak, they challenge what you said. You can't possibly know what you're talking about. You cannot possibly have factored 360 degrees of potentiality to make your conclusion. So they challenge everything that you say. But let me tell you something, and you know this very well, Nicole. You step into Africa. See, Africans are a little different than other people. You can talk all you want. to Africans, they don't hear you. Your lips are bumping. They're not hearing that. See, Africans are on some show me. Don't tell me, show me. And if you do it, oh, we can duplicate it, right? And this is how Africans are. So what happens is you step into Africa and you're going to bump into the Africans and they're going to say, show me. And you show them, wait a second. Now you just proved your value. See, here in America, your value is based on a credit score. It's based on how much money you have, right? It's based on all of these external factors that a human being cannot take pride in. In Africa, your value is based on your utility. And that is the mark of a human being. The only thing that matters, I don't care what this value system has imposed on you. The only thing that matters is your utility, right? Not your Jordans, not how big your house is or your car is, your utility. And Africa kind of brings that out. And furthermore, it rewards you. It rewards you. The people will respond. So what does that mean? What am I saying? I'm saying that those very things that you are proficient in here, where they challenge you and question you every single time you open your mouth, if you are in fact proficient in that thing, trust yourself, go to Africa and give it away and watch the reaction. See, they will respect that. They will gravitate to that, and you will find that everything that you might need is readily at your fingertips. So the logic behind the Ledge Group is to never walk alone. It's to never walk alone. And I'm glad I started the recording early, and I see so many people that just joined. Welcome, peace, love, blessings, health and wellness on your houses, longevity and vitality in your days. It is a pleasure to have you all. And again, I think it is something that we will do fairly regularly. Once a month, what we're gonna do is in the Grand Risings room, we're just gonna have a meet and greet, a Q&A. What we wanna do is make this a vehicle that has the ability to serve. At the end of the day, and so I'll give you a little history. The Ledge Group really started based on an inquiry that I made to my mother. I asked my mother, she transitioned to different form 6 years ago this week. And I asked her sometime in life, I said, no, Mom, your husband died in 1972, left you with 6 children in racist Boston, right? She went to, we stood at her high school graduation. 6 of us, little snotty noses, stood at her high school graduation, and she subsequently graduated from Harvard University, summa cum laude. And so she made it a tremendous journey. And so once that real struggle period was over, right? I asked her, I said, Mom, because Mom was a Panther, right? My father was a Mau Mau. And I asked her, I said, Mom, if anybody had ever said to you, here is 7 tickets for you and your children, right? Your husband has already transitioned. Here are 7 tickets for you and your children to go anywhere in Africa. When you get there, I don't have anything for you. I don't know where you're going to live. I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know how you're going to live. But here's 7 tickets for you and your family to be able to get out. If somebody ever did that, Mom, what would you say? And she said, I'd be gone. My mother did not blink a single eye. She said, I'd be gone. Trusting in the fact that she was able to make it here. Yeah, she believed she'd be able to make it there. And that is why the Ledge Group was born. The goal was to produce a viable vehicle for my mother with 6 children to be able to reliably leave this nation in safety, in security, and with the capacity to flourish into the future. That was the goal. That was the marching order. And it was from that a lot of different things were done that produced the Ledge Group, right? I began to launch training initiatives to teach my how to do different things, right? Alternative energy, technology, security, basic networking, these kinds of things. And so through that effort, through training, matter of fact, I think there's some of my trainees in the session. Through that effort, I generally gave these trainings for free to my people. And they made tremendous differences in many lives. But through that effort, people began to know me. They began to know my spirit, kind of how I get down and think. And so as a result of that, it almost was a natural progression to build the Ledge Group. So one day I said, yo, I got $50. Anybody that got $50 to put with mine, we will collect it for a period of time and we'll give it to a single parent at the end of a term. Whoever chooses, random choosing, anyone, doesn't matter. We will bless them, surprise them, and give them this blessing. And when I said that, damn near everybody on my friends list responded. Like thousands of people came back and said, I got $50 too. So many that it made me have to take a pause and say, wait a minute now. If we send that amount of money to an individual, that could be a blessing or it could be a curse. So wait a second, let's reset. Everybody hold your money, let's reset, let's have a conversation. That's when we built the Grand Risings, a place where we could have those conversations in secret, right? And if you scroll down in the Grand Risings group, you can see all of this. This history exists back from day one. You can see this and you can see the conversations. And so from there, with all of those people that popped up and said, yeah, we could do this, I said, well, so then why don't we build a factory? Instead of pooling that money and giving it to an individual, why wouldn't we find a place on the planet Earth where we could buy land and open a factory, no loans, no debts. I don't care what we make. Open a factory, we own it. Because we do that, we can enter into whatever market and we don't have to follow the price structure that's in place right now. I own the factory where the Koch brothers don't. They're leasing their equipment, right? They've got an overhead that they have to make. So there's a certain margin that they have to charge on their toilet paper. Well, what if we opened a factory? We owned that factory. We owned our equipment. We owned everything because we pooled our money to do so. And we sold toilet paper for a fraction of the cost of the Koch brothers with a more superior product. What happens?
So that car
we could destroy their markets one by one.
And it should have said that your title. And if that was a salvage title.
Was somebody talking? Oh, yeah. Could you mute your microphone? Unless you're speaking to me. That's cool. So that was the birth of the Ledge Group. That was the reason it came into being. Now, as time went on, wow, we did so. Oh man, Roman fishing. Wait a minute, bro. You deep sea fishing out there? I seen them rods. Don't try to hide it now.
Hey, Peter.
Roman, you fishing, family?
I am.
Yes, I see you there. All right. I see all y'all. Beautiful.
If you could mute everybody, you won't get any background noise. And if you want to make me the co-host, I can help you with the sound. And I'm gonna put myself back on mute.
They do. I think everybody's doing pretty good. In this pandemic, we have become trained in relation to using this tool. But you know what? So I don't know how to make you the co-host because let me see.
You just click on my name in the chat. So if you find me in the chat or you see my name and click on the drop down that says more, and then I'll be able to help you with the audio.
It says make you host, and that would change me from the host. It doesn't
allow me to make the co-host. You can stay the host. It would just allow me, if you made me the co-host, if someone's mic is unmuted and you hear a bunch of background noise, I can mute them.
Understood. The menu items doesn't have co-host. It's only make host.
You must got a later version of Zoom on your computer.
Yeah, and I haven't updated as well.
Okay.
So, but everybody's doing fairly well, I think. And everybody knows my brother is fishing, man. I wish I was there. Shoot. So this was the the birthplace. You can't hear anything. Oh, brother can't hear anything. Let me see. In the chat room, well, trying to give you audible instructions won't really help if you can't hear me. Okay, so maybe, Cuz, could you tell him, kind of go to his audio and configure?
Yeah, tell him to look at the chat and I'll talk to him through the chat.
Thank you.
Who is it?
That is ELDD.
Got it. Okay.
So that really was the inception of the Ledge Group. This was the spirit, this was the energy, this was the logic behind building it. What is it today? It is through great pain and great circumstance, many challenges. I mean, I could go into a history that you wouldn't believe. Sabotage from, like slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. We have survived. And what we have done is we have produced a reputation throughout Africa. They know who the Ledge Group is. Throughout Africa, we have produced a reputation that allows us to basically access anything. So you can go to the maternity ward that we built. It's a physical thing that you can touch and impacting families, right? You can go and see wells that we dug all over the continent. You can see the impact that the Ledge Group has had. The difference being the Ledge Group has never taken a loan, does not owe anyone for anything that we have done, okay? Now, that hasn't been easy, right? Along the way, Nicole, I'll tell you, along the way, we've had, so as I said, when I first put out that call to pool $50, 5,000 people stepped up and said yes. 5,000 people initially were in the Grand Risings room. Some people, we created the different models whereby pooling could happen, and I'll speak to that in a little while. But, and so we did that. Everybody put their membership fee is what was produced. Everyone put their membership fee in, and we began to build things. We began to open up businesses. We began to pay farmers, right? And dig wells and do all of these different fun things. And then the expectation, potentially my own fault, the expectation relative to doing business in Africa and what we were doing may not have been clear enough. So many people that were with us in the beginning fell off during that period. And what happened was every single person, in the name of our being able to grow forward, right, and knowing our people, I paid every single person back from my paycheck. While we took that money, we collected that money and we sent it into Africa, and it was clear, paper trails in place, all of that. When somebody said, you know what, this ain't right. This, I don't like this. I don't think I like you no more. Well, when they did that, in order to keep growing, in order to stave off what I knew would be the next step to that, I paid them through my pocket and we kept growing, right? So it's been challenging. It's been very difficult. You can see, I think that the Ledge Group was opened in 2017, I think. But its real work had been building up ever since. And so really, I build this Q&A, and I'm gonna shut up in a minute because I kind of wanna hear from y'all. What do y'all wanna know, right? But I build this up and we do this Q&A for me to be able to do a level set, to manage the expectation. What is the Ledge Group and what isn't the Ledge Group? The Ledge Group isn't an investment firm. If you call yourself an investment firm, then you have to be subject to the SEC. We are not an investment firm. We are not. What we are is for when I file taxes, we are called a non-equity club. Okay, a non-equity club. Rachel, could I get you to mute? I'll mute you. I got you. Wow. We are a non-equity club. What is that? A non-equity club is like the Portuguese club that you see in American cities, the Franco-American club, the Italian club. It's a club where these people are able to generally have a physical location in which they can determine who they would allow as a member based on their own private criteria. It's a way of they're creating a group that can take advantage of different things. In the city that I come from, the Portuguese, they own their own credit union, right? This is what they have done with these clubs. And if we go through the society, you'll see a lot more examples of these clubs that are being used. And one of them, most notably, the KKK, was basically that, right? A non-equity club where they can discriminate legally along the criteria that they privately define and leave people in or out, right? So the Ledge Group is a non-equity club. And what we do is we produce the reputation, the capacity through partnerships and parity with our brothers on the continent in order to benefit both groups, right? So again, nobody has ever gone to the African and said, we'll split with you 50-50. This is a really basic way. So there's a lot of pieces to this model, but it's actually very basic. It is to say, okay, in Angola, you've got diamond mines, and heretofore, the colonizer has stepped to you with a glass of water. They don't give you the ability to filter your own water. They don't build out the infrastructure for you to be able to have your own water. No, they'll give you a glass of water for a truckload of diamonds. So the African who is thirsty takes that glass of water because they must. But they walk away with a truckload of diamonds and they create this industry on this exploitation that has existed forever. So what the Ledge Group says is, instead of watching that, instead of knowing that that's how it works, why don't we reach out to that diamond miner and say, look, how much is it going to cost to build out the infrastructure for you to be able to do this safely so that your children are not in jeopardy and risking their lives? What would it cost for us to do that? And if they can provide us with a number, okay, well, so here's what we do. I build that out for you. Whatever you let me take those diamonds and put them into the hands of our people in the world, and we split 50-50. How about that? That is a better deal than any colonizer anywhere. It is a better deal than any people anywhere has ever approached the African with. This is to treat them like men. It's to treat them like men and women and human beings. They should have a share in their resources. Why should somebody benefit greater on their resources, right? So this is, like I said, this is actually quite simple, right? It is to be fair. So in the articles of the Ledge Group's binder is listed the word Ubuntu. I am because we are. If we recognize and keep at the forefront of our minds that every man must eat, every woman and every child must eat, then we can produce models that ensure that everybody does. And we can ensure that when the tide rises, all ships rise with it. So this was the logic behind the Ledge Group. So now what do? We find reputable contacts, like my brother Tracy there, over there in Uganda, in the Pearl of Africa, peace family. Yes, we find reputable contacts. We develop relationships with them. We vet them. Look, when I say I vet them, I'm telling you, I test them. I send that man $20 and ask him to go get this thing. And he brings that back and he completes that task. Awesome. Then I send him 100 and tell him to go get a business license. And I see how long it takes from what he said he could do and what it ended up with at the end. We perform tests in order to vet who this person is and the level to which we can trust them. And we slowly grow the relationship. This is the only way that it works, so that we increase trust between each other. And we know where we can count on each other. And I ain't gonna ask you to do nothing that you didn't say you could do. But if you said you could do it, I'm looking for you to do that. You understand? So we slowly but surely cultivate these relationships. And then what we do is we ask that continental African, what is the best business? If you had the opportunity to open a business, what would it be? And they will give us a suggestion. And we will perform a SWOT analysis. Come on, we're here, right? You've been in America your whole lives. You've been in the UK. These things are what you've done all the time. You're already used to this, but you're used to doing it for somebody else, right? So we perform a SWOT analysis. We use the benefit of what we have seen in America succeed versus fail. And we take that project and we run it through that mill and we perfect it. And we define a pilot of that project, right? So if we do a pilot project, it's maybe $5,000 in cost to start that project. Excellent. 5,000, we got 300 members. I'm not a math wizard, but again, it's, again, how much? $25, $30 each person, and bam, that's done. We start that project, we open that business, we do it. If it succeeds, then it has the capacity to grow itself, right? If the project that they defined works, then they will generate capital. That capital is used to expand the project. So when that project comes to me, my first, and I don't like to overwhelm people, but again, you tell me that you want to grow out 2 acres of watermelons. Excellent. We're going to do the market analysis. Where are you going to sell them? What is the margin during the different times of the year? How does that fluctuate? We're going to do the SWOT analysis, right? But I'm going to then turn to that contact and say, okay, you want to grow on 2 acres. Where do you want to be 5 years from now, right? Because if all you want to do is grow on 2 acres, then it limits what's going to be done, right? But if I can ask a man, well, okay, you said 2 acres. What do you see 5 years from now? And I can see the desire to grow, the ambition to grow, right? Now we know that there's something that we can work with. Right? We can build plans into the future. And the primary and pure goal associated with the Ledge Group is to produce capacity and the ability to flourish 10,000 generations into the future. It's not necessarily for comfort today. It is for comfort, or it is for capacity over time, right? It's not a race, it's a marathon, right? Not a sprint, it's a marathon. So it's really about the capacity for 10,000 generations into the future. And so we produce these partnerships. And as a result, over the years that we've been working, as I said, we built maternity wards. And again, I'll speak to that a little bit. When Brother Chalemu said to me, man, the babies are not being born healthy. Access to the hospital is a given distance. It's not good. And we need to do something. And he said, we need to build a maternity ward. And the first thing that popped out of my mouth was, then we're going to build a maternity ward. Now, let me tell you something. I didn't have a frog's idea how we were going to do this. I didn't have a plan. I said, the man told me this is what was needed. And I said, we're going to do it. I didn't have a plan, but I made the intention, and that's what we did, right? And so subsequently, we've opened retail locations, we've opened tow trucks, we've opened the safari, we've done all of these different things all over the continent. We're currently active in Nigeria with the MMA training gym and multimedia production studio. We are in Sierra Leone with cassava processing and logistics. We are in Ghana. I thought I saw Sister Shakisha in here. We are in Ghana with youth that are trained in alternative energy. They're not active yet, it's coming. They're not active to the extent that I would like for the Ledge Group. They are installing and they're doing work all throughout Ghana. They're lighting Ghana up. What I wanted to do was create a Ledge entity that would kind of expand our reach. We're in Nigeria we're in Zambia, we're talking in Congo. We've been talking in Congo forever. We're in Zambia, we're talking in Rwanda, we're in Uganda. We're not active as I might like in Uganda, and we're going to talk about that, Professor. We are in South Africa, we are in Tanzania, we are in Kenya. So if you open up a map of Africa and you look at what we have done, we're at the major ports at the southern and eastern areas of Africa, which are the most viable ports. These ports in South Africa, in Dar es Salaam, Mombasa, basically feed everything up to and through the Congo and into Nigeria and moving up towards West Africa. The only other port that is most viable, so the banana port, banana in Congo is in disrepair. Sierra Leone is a very advantageous port, and I'm trying to kind of nail down the logistics. Why? Because Sierra Leone to New Jersey is a straight shot. It's the closest logistics point. But today it's not built out to the extent that it should be. So where we are is on the entire southern and eastern lower area of the continent, which gives us access going all the way up. So when you look at that and you consider the countries that I had just named off, it's basically all of East Africa all the way up into the Congo. And this was intentional. This was very intentional. The land is abundant, it is fertile, it is available. Look, in Zambia, the ledge members have land at $166 an acre, right? In Tanzania, the ledge members have access to land at $250 per acre. This 250, wait a minute, please. I live in Boston. A parking space in Boston sold for $250,000. A parking space. $250,000. So you must think that this is a parking space where they got champagne and crackers and hors d'oeuvres. No, it's junkies. When you go outside, there's going to be junkies sitting on your car. That's what this space is. $250,000. $250 for an acre of land. So we are engaging the builders as well. And you've seen some of the images that I've been sharing in the videos. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to find the most advantageous, effective design as we possibly can. The benefit of the Ledge Group is the reputation. We don't have to walk anywhere alone. We create an executive director in whatever country that we are working in. That executive director is a citizen. That citizen connects us to everything. We research who that citizen is. We get to understand who that individual is, and we choose those that have high standing in the communities. And so what that does is it eliminates for us xenophobia. While Africans going to any country, you might have heard, I don't know if you have, some of the drama that unfolded in the Gambia over the last year or two, right?
Come on.
You may have heard and seen some of the challenges that we're seeing pretty much all over the world, where Africans go in and those people respond one way or another. This is xenophobia, right? And it is not without foundation or basis. Simply suggested, there is a way to diminish xenophobia. There is a way to eliminate those things from our forward progress. How do we do that? I can promise you, when we go to Zambia, when any Ledge member goes to Zambia, let me see who's here. Thanos, you're not in here? We've had our Ledge members go over to Zambia. You know what? They know your name.
Peter.
All you say is your Ledge, and you will find that they know who you are. They know who the Ledge Group is. They know where the maternity ward is, where our lands are, the jobs that we've produced, the economies that we've produced. So the real goal is to ensure that wherever we go, you never walk alone.
Rich,
and furthermore,
mute yourself, please.
You go in a way that allows you, to leverage the reputation that has been produced, right? This is the goal, to ensure beyond leveraging the reputation, you go into these places not as colonizer dark, but representative of the proud, triumphant, and focused people that you came from. And in my mind, that is one of the most important. I do not want any one of my people to walk anywhere on this planet Earth with their hat in their hands. You are too beautiful. Your families were too beautiful. They sacrificed too much for you to be here and for you to have to hold your head down and beg somebody for bread. We can't do that anymore. We can't do that anymore. I suggest that the only way that we should walk anywhere on this planet is as proud, triumphant Africans, and with a plan, right? With a plan. And so I can say, and again, I'm gonna shut up, right? I can say that our welcome everywhere is amazing. And with each and every, if I showed you my inbox, you would weep for me, because every country everywhere is reaching out and saying, you know what? Yeah, we know who you are. We seen what you did. Can we get some love? And guess what? Why wouldn't we? So this group has emerald mines and don't have anything to do with it. What if we took that vibranium and placed it exclusively in the hands of our people that have no intention of leaving the diaspora, those who have no intentions of leaving America or the UK? Well, what if we put the vibranium in their hands? What if we produced the capacity to take that chocolate that Switzerland was just cut off? Let's be the primary vendor for that. See, we have to stop thinking in the crushed down space that the colonizer has produced for us. That isn't us. It doesn't fit us. We have to start thinking as a global group. If you just saw Ghana cut Switzerland off of the chocolate, two things just happened. Switzerland is jonesing and Ghana is looking for somebody to be able to take up that slack. Why can't we? Why can't we? Now, Oprah Winfrey could do this. A Tyler Perry could do this. Why don't they? Why don't they? Right? And at the end of the day, I'm not criticizing them. I'm saying no one is our savior. We should do it. We have that intelligence. We have this view. We have the experience. Why would we sit and wait for someone else to do it? So the logic behind the Ledge Group, and I'm going to shut up, okay? The logic behind the Ledge Group is that there is no leader. Yes, I created the idea. I went and paid the money to open up an LLC. I created all of those things and did all the things necessary. But guess what? If I should transition to a different energy form, the businesses in tow truck are still in members' names in conjunction with an executive director's name. That business will flourish forever. The safari are still in members' names and in an executive director's names, and that business will flourish forever. The water treatment facility is in member name and in a continental African's name, and that will flourish forever. So it doesn't matter what happens to me, right? The old model where you had a tip of the spear. If the tip was broken, then the weapon would falter, right? And so if they took the leader, then the movements failed. We can't be so foolish. The model that we have to use is far more similar to a hammer that has a wide surface. And so no matter, even if a nick is taken off of that hammer will still strike true and it will do its job. And so our movements cannot be built in the same manner as those that we have seen fall and the result of those. We have to build in a different manner. It is Ubuntu. So we drop grass seeds everywhere. So you don't, if tomorrow, if tomorrow you see the Ledge Group is invested in a ballet hall in Africa, don't be surprised because somebody said they wanted to do that. And that's what we're gonna do. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you dream about, whatever business it is that you wanna do, let's do it. Let's open it. Let's put you in a position to have that resource to safely open that up before you critically need it. So you build the business and you step back. You install your reporting, you install those things that you need in place for confidence, and you grow it in advance. When you are ready to leave and go to Africa, when you buy an acre of land for $250 and build a house that costs $16K and you own it, right? When you do that, you will already have an economy. You will already have a passive income. But I don't want you to sit back. I don't want you to do just one thing. See, and this is how I see, right? Because when we get there, right? So I bought my land, I'm building my house, right? Okay, now we get there and there's 20 of us living in close proximities. Hold on. Who's making fried chicken? It's Sunday, right? I'm gonna need, who doing the fried fish on Friday, right? So what happens is you necessarily have businesses that must spring up. Somebody got to retwist my locks. Somebody got to, right? So there are these things that we have become accustomed to that we have relied on other people for. But now you got a blank slate. We can build cities, right? So if you do cakes, if you do whatever, fried fish, open it there. So you don't just open one business and you hope to live on that. No. We grow. Anybody want an airport? Yo, let's build an airport, right? Whatever it is, we do that. Okay.
Peter, can you hear me?
I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna let y'all speak.
Peter, can you hear me at all?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
I couldn't because I don't take a break. I don't say I just, so your mic be like, dang, I can't get in.
We know the ancestors are definitely in the air. We had a few questions in the chat. So okay. Do you want to go through if we can go through the chat questions first, that'd be great. Okay. We had the first question was from Betty White, from what I can see. She was saying basically, could birthright be a viable concept to flourishing? And I said something in the chat and said self-sustainability, self-preservation, self-determination is our birthright and our right as Indigenous people. Could you add on to her question and
well, further, it would make more sense. You know, one of my favorite things about Malcolm X is he would never answer a question without first restating it back to that person, but then actually getting down to the nitty gritty. What you really asking me? You understand? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push that question back and ask you to clarify for me. When you say birthright, what exactly do you mean?
She said she's referencing the Jewish concept, which, the concept of religion, and you're dealing with building. I don't really see how that ties into religion, but she's talking about the Jewish concept. Can you define Jewish concept?
Again, I got to drill it down in order to be able to clearly understand what it is that you're asking me. Based on this birthright, the establishment of this birthright, what is gained? What is gained relative to this birthright that you speak to? What is the direct benefit associated with the birthright, and how would that apply? Right? How would we use it is the question.
While she's thinking about her answer, we can go ahead and take the next question. Does anybody else have a question?
I know you do.
Peter, this is Nicole. So in regards to what you were saying in terms of how the structure is in members' names and the citizen in the local place, have you considered doing a trust?
A trust?
Yes.
Yes. However, and so that's a great question. Understand, that's a great question, Nicole. Again, I made mention of the fact that the Ledge Group is a non-equity club. The only reason I opened up the Ledge Group LLC is so that when we spoke around the world, people would be able to, if I go into Kenya and I speak to the Minister of Agriculture, he says, who are you? I can point him to the public records. This is who we are, pay our taxes all these times. You know who we are, right? The only reason I opened it was for that purpose. The Ledge Group doesn't sell anything. Myself as the CEO and the founder have never made a single penny. Lisa has never been paid. Nkosi has never been paid. We don't make money. The goal is for you to gain. It's the members. That's the Ubuntu. It's not for the Ledge Group to make money. It's for the members. So at the end of the day, what does the dream come true? The dream come true is we rip up the Ledge Group LLC, stop paying them, and roll out like Harlem Nights, because everybody has got 2-3 businesses in their name. So back to your question as it relates to the trust, there should never be a trust in the Ledge Group name. The trust should be in your name. You hear me? The trust is recognized globally. An LLC is not. An LLC is specific, or a limited company is specific to the country that you're in. It does not travel, right? It doesn't travel. So a trust is absolutely a brilliant forward model, and we can build that out and we can assist. Okay, but the trust would never be at the Ledge Group level. Again, that's something probably even, this is probably news to a lot of people on the call. At the end of the day, I said something the other day. And I wake up with the spirit and I say things. And I mean, it's not like these are magical, mystical words. It's simply that it hit my spirit and I said it, and it made me say, oh, damn. And so what I said was, can we even imagine one thing that we have ever done in our entire lives that have not served to make white supremacy stronger? Right? If I go and buy a bottle of water, they got stronger. First of all, because they taxed me for earning the dollar, and then they taxed me for buying it, right? If anything, you got a child's birthday party, white supremacy got stronger. You paying your rent, white supremacy got stronger. You're paying your gas bill, white supremacy getting stronger. When you die, white supremacy gets stronger. They have monetized every single second of our lives. So the question that I asked myself, and the question that I presented was, can you name a single thing in your life that you have ever done that did not make white supremacy stronger? And I asked that question. I never, I'm not pointing my fingers at my people. Generally, when you see me talk, it's not simply a question that I'm asking the people. I'm asking myself. I'm doing a self-check. I do a chin check. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Right. But wait, when I did that chin check, I came back to the only thing that I ever did in my life that didn't make white supremacy stronger was build a Ledge Group. That's it. Because if the dollar doesn't even come, the only dollars that come to the Ledge Group, to me, are the membership fee. But from the second that hits, that goes out of the country. I don't simply want to circulate money in the Black community. I want to extricate it from the white one. I want to take those dollars and ensure that they never, ever, ever come back to this nation. And that is true revolutionary action. Remove it entirely from them. So to swing back, you see, I can go on if you let me. To swing back to your question, which was a trust. A trust is a brilliant idea. It will never happen at the Ledge Group level. At the end of the day, it's going to be Harlem Nights. We're going to throw this thing back to them, and we're going to roll out. You hear? And when we roll out, there will be 10,000 Africans from the diaspora with 50,000 different businesses and bank accounts in these various countries, using the free trade agreement, moving back and forth, using the East African visa from Uganda to Kenya. Look, where you got places where come on, in Kenya, So Kenya's having a rough time right now. But in Kenya, our land in Laikipia is available at $20 per acre per year and can be leased for up to 99 years without building restriction. You do whatever you want on that land, right? So when I step back and think the whole Harlem Nights thing, what I say is, why wouldn't I have a spot in Kenya, in Tanzania, in all of these places, right? Peace, family.
Please.
All right, so I see other questions. So where do you send membership monies to? The last thing that anyone should do, the last thing that you should do is join anything. The last thing you should do is join. It does, and this is why I created this meeting, because what I want to do is I want to manage the expectation. I don't want you to come join and say, well, wait a minute, I thought you all was, no. I want you to know and be very confident relative to everything that we do, right? And so first, Makita, you asked where to send the membership monies. What I would first suggest, and this is true for everyone, in the file section of the Grand Rising room, you will find the NDA and the Pledge of Commitment letter. Download those two files and read them. Never, ever, ever sign anything if you have not read it completely. Read those files. Now, people have questions about them, especially as it relates to the NDA. The NDA has language that would sound like, no, you can't open no business that would compete with the ledge. At the end of the day, that is in place so that none of our members can run off to the European, give them any of our models, and spin those up. If you are in compliance with what the Ledge Group is about, you are supposed to be spinning up businesses, right? Don't sit there like a baby bird with your mouth open waiting. You're supposed to cultivate. What do? If you sew, then let's open up a sewing facility. Let's build out a warehouse. They're already sewing everywhere. Let's industrialize it. Let's do what we have seen done, minus the vampirism that has been installed by the capitalists and colonists. Let's do it right.
We have 3 questions waiting, Peter.
All right, I'm sorry.
Let me get this first question because it's a really good one.
I'm answering it now.
No. Let me. I got it.
I think everybody wants to hear the answer.
Right.
So Raven Dooley said, is the Ledge still accepting land for hemp manufacturing as payment for membership?
So who said that? Who asked that?
Raven Dooley.
Raven, where are you?
I'm mute. Hey y'all, I'm in Atlanta right now.
In Atlanta. So
yeah,
in America, you'll notice that there's very little hemp actually being grown. There are people that are doing CBDs on various scales, but you don't see any manufacturing or massive production. And this is because America has been extremely ignorant and restrictive in the way that she has done hemp. In fact, some of what we've done has been, and I'll speak to it, I bet a lot of people don't know this, but some of what we've done is based on what America has done. And Africa, in many countries, have simply copied the American model relative to hemp, which says it can only have a certain percentage of THC or they'll come burn your fields. But one of the things that caused the model to shift a little bit is because further, if the Ledge Group directly opened up a business that operated in hemp, the tax from the United States of America is 50%. 50% of what we earn on hemp, if we did it in Africa, we would have to pay to the United States government in taxes. Crazy, right? So hemp ain't gonna be in the Ledge Group name. it's gonna be in Professor G name. Hear me? It's gonna be on the continent. So that again, I'm not enriching you just because my hands and brain can do some works. I'm not gonna just what? Why? Because you're cute? You ain't that cute. You know what I mean? So back to your question.
Okay.
Are we accepting land in to grow hemp? Not in America. Not in America. And the reason being, the challenges are too great. In North Carolina, Hemp Inc. opened up, man, 10 years ago. I started talking about hemp, and all of a sudden, Hemp Inc. pop, they opened up, right? They spent $20 million and far more since then. And based on the laws, they've not put one single seed into the ground in North Carolina, not one. They've been open for 10 years. They have not put one seed in the ground. I've had their stock ever since they opened because I was hopeful. Now, based on the legislation, based on the way the United States of America, this is what we're looking at relative to the marijuana and the hemp and this legislation. You're looking at Prohibition 2021. This is what they just did, right? The same way they installed prohibition relative to alcohol, that's what they just did with the hemp and the marijuana. It's vampiric, it throttles the industry, and it keeps America from being able to actually use it. In Norway and in Switzerland, they're building with hemp. You can go see their projects. Our consultant is active in building out those projects in those areas. They're building with it. They're using it. In America, they're not, because America is too busy trying to pimp somebody than to let growth happen, right? So in America, no, it doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Especially where I can get an acre of land in Kenya for $20, right?
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely. Antonio asked, why is membership fee not mandatory? It is. In order to be a member, you must. Even children. We have members on the call now. What we did was we dropped costs in order to make it more available to everyone. What we didn't want to do was restrict people because they didn't have enough money. So we dropped costs and we created methods by which payment could happen. But we have members, I think, on the call now that paid $1,000 membership fee for their child, right? Why? Why would your child have to pay to be a member? Because there is no honorary member. Each and every one of us is going to put a brick into the wall of our freedom. I'm not giving you nothing. Ain't nobody in this world gonna give you nothing, right? Each and every single one of us need to be willing to pick up a brick and put it in the wall. And if we do that, man, the victory is assured. There ain't no question. It's already done, right? So this is why it is important that everybody pay a membership fee. Now, back to the question, let me add this. Birthright has to do with the state claims based on two things: just solely rights to the lands by birth and history, and two, just sanguinis, rights by blood. The Jews claim rights to the land of Israel based on blood and tying to its history. And we know that they made all that up, right? We know they made all that up. But that being said, if you find that you do your DNA test and you find yourself legitimately tied to a given area in Africa, Africans are not what you are used to here. If it's right, yo, they're with that. Like Sierra Leone, oh, you can prove you from Sierra Leone, that your people came from Sierra Leone? Yeah, you can get the citizenship, right? And these are these kinds of conversations. We're shaping the future as we walk forward, right? So I've got that paperwork that says my DNA was in Nigeria, in Senegambia, in Sierra Leone, in Mali, in Kenya. So I'm going to first do the works and produce the reputation that I need to in order to be able to step to them and say, look, my DNA says I'm from here, and you can see the benefit that we bring. Here's what we want. Guess what? This is how you do business. This is how sales works. I give you an offer that you can't refuse. You understand? That's how you do it. That's how you do business. I'm sorry. Okay.
Tammy has a question.
Who does?
Tammy.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. sorry.
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings. How can I help you?
Okay, my concern, not really a question, and has been the entire last year, is sending large amounts of funds to. I know there has to be trust in our community, and I wouldn't join the Ledge or any other group that I've joined and donated money and never looked back for anything. But my concern is sending large amounts of money to whatever country, let's say Tanzania, um, giving it to the owners there. And what if something happens? I know you said earlier, if you transition, Lord forbid you transition or whatever, but can we really trust these people that if you're no longer a member, Peter, that they're going to be honest, there's going to be integrity? And that's my concern. And I really wanted to buy the land, and it broke my heart the other day for $250, but I kind of pulled back because I'm not sure what's going to happen. And I just had a bad feeling that something was going to happen, and like the day after the president transition.
Oh my, that was so, that weighs, right?
It hurts.
And even right now, I mean, like we're watching what's going on there, and I'm like,
Yes.
oh, Jesus Christ. And
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what? 4 African leaders since
Yes.
January have come up under suspicious, look, so yeah, I know. And you know, earlier I spoke to some things. And so I'm gonna answer your question. You asked, how can you trust? And I suggest to you that I have failed myself in my life. I have seen myself fail myself, and I know that I will fail myself again. So when it is a question of trust, I suggest that I trust myself about 80%. If I'm on a plane and it's going down, I don't trust a man that's been trained for 20 years. I trust me, right? But in a conversation of trust, to be completely honest and open, I trust me about 80%. So my mother was a big fan of the words trust but verify. So what we do is, again, we use small tests to see how far we can trust someone. But furthermore, we open up a business and we see, this is the logic. We open up a business, and when you open up a business in Africa, you're going to put your passport and verification of who you are, and the executive director is going to put their passport and verification of who they are, and that's going to be registered legally in that country. So what does that mean? That means that if you were to join a group that said, okay, we're going to invest in Africa, right? And what they did was they created a contact, they know this person, they trust this person, and they sent that person this money. If they did that and that person went away, what are you gonna do? You can go to the State Department and say, I know who that person is. They show, you got nothing. They're not gonna do anything. In this case, we've opened a business. Our names are legally registered there. You know who we are, and so is that person. At that point, I'm grateful I've never had to do it, but at that point, I can go to the State Department easily, right? I'm grateful that I've never had to do that, but it is available as an option based on the way that we've built this. So can I say to you, everything is going to work? Absolutely not. I can't. In fact, I'm more confident saying that it's probably not going to work the first time you get up to the bat. But as long as we stick to it, it's good. Do you know how long it, well, and you know, I allude to this on a regular basis, and I always forget. Give me 1 second, Kev. You know how long it took for America to get a handle on food production to accommodate all of her people? It's a trick question because she still hasn't. She created GMO foods. She created famine crops. She never, ever got a handle on being able to produce enough food to feed her own people. This isn't easy. This doesn't happen overnight. It requires discipline. It requires focus. And you know what else it requires? It requires each and every single one of you looking at everything that we do and saying, yo, you know what? This could be made better. Here's a suggestion. Here's how we can make this better. Here's how we can make this stronger. Everybody mute yourself, please. When you come in, I got you. I'm gonna mute that one. So does that answer your question? I don't know that it answers it fully. You first asked about trust. How can you trust someone? You can't trust someone. What you do is you build in the safeguards to ensure that if there is something that goes wrong, you have recourse. You can't trust anyone. What you do is you test them. You test them. So I send them 100, I send them 1,000, I send them 5,000. We test and we see how true they are to their word. We see how well they report back. Okay. At the end of the day, what we're looking to do doesn't have a safety net. That's the real challenge here. We sit in the diaspora and we have this safety net, right? If all goes bad, we can count on something, but everything that we're talking about, there is no safety net. There is no park ranger. There is no guarantee. And it is that very leap of faith and resilience that we must demonstrate that is going to make the difference as it relates to whether or not we as a people are ever free or not. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Thank you, Peter.
All righty. Teach.
All right.
Teach. Kev, how you doing, family?
Grand Risings, brother. How are you?
Grand Rising. If y'all don't know, man, look, he used to take care of me in school when I was a little nappy-headed, knotted, you know, I was knucklehead, you understand? And Kev guided me. Hey, man, Kev was there, bro. Let's not get it twisted. Respect.
Respect. Peter, a couple of things.
Yeah.
Before I ask my question, are you reading through the comments?
I'm trying to, but you see what happens is my lips bump so fast that my eyes don't, you know, I don't be.
I'm just
trying.
reading it before I read ask my question. Peter is lying. He's a phenomenal leader that helps to empower other leaders. He is a leader. Don't let him fool you.
Who said that?
This is Mist Walker.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, I just want to point that out. My question, interested in buying some land. School is done, starting to work and accumulate some money. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Spatially, I have no idea what an acre looks like. You can tell me all day how many feet it is and all of that, but what does that look like? Can you break that down to me?
A football field.
An acre is a football field?
Yep.
Squared off?
Yep.
Because an acre, that's long.
Yep.
Okay, bet.
It's a football field.
All right, that's a lot of land. Now,
I'm not walking it. I'm telling you, one of the first things on my budget is one of them golf carts, bro.
Yeah,
I ain't playing with y'all.
How many houses fit on something like that?
My brother, being that we are both in Massachusetts, I can say with great confidence, neither you nor I have ever lived on an acre, ever. There's generally 4 houses on an acre. As a matter of fact, in my neighborhood now, and I have a big house in my neighborhood now, I would say that's 1, 2, it might be 5 houses on an acre here. In New York, they'll put 20. They put 20 and 1,000 floors, man. Look, I ain't playing with them people.
All right. In Ghana or Nigeria. Peter, if I want to build in Ghana or Nigeria, what is the cost per acre? And is it purchase or lease?
So in Ghana, they don't sell acres, they sell lots. Okay. I bought a lot in Ghana, but I will not be building a primary residence in Ghana. The reason being, of all of the African countries I've ever visited, Ghana is the most expensive. It's very expensive. It is not America expensive. Let me qualify that. It's not like America yet, but it's very expensive. And there is no real forward plan, right? As it relates to growing the economy, as it relates to, truly, a 50-year, 100-year master plan, There really isn't one. You know what? Their real big move was the year of return. Whoa, Ghana cleaned up on the year of return. That was their big move. But again, they're offering land for free. But if you go there, look, a man can give you 1 billion acres of land. If you don't have water, you will perish on that land. You know?
What is a lot?
A lot is a 1/4 acre. So that is an acre broken down into 4. So just
But
as
it's
I
not
said,
yours.
that's right. Only 1 lot is yours.
So we're in Africa.
Now, and this is why this doesn't make a lot of sense to me, right? You asked how many houses can you put on an acre? Let me do a level set. You're going to Africa. This isn't America. When you go look at homes in Africa, they don't build them up because there are not space concerns. When you move into congested areas like Ghana, now you have space concerns, right? When you move into cities, Accra, when you move, you got space concerns. But when you move out, there's not space concerns in Africa. So you will see everybody's house, bruh, they are gigantic. Me and Lisa walked into this brother's living room. This was Dr. Kihandra in Kenya. We walked into his living room. This looked like a ballroom. And they wasn't doing nothing in there. Don't nobody go into that ballroom that he had, but it was like a ballroom. Like you walked up, like there were stairs that you go up into the living room, and it was like marble floors. I'm telling you, I was like, hello, a ballroom, man, for a living room. So there isn't a need. So what I say that to say, why would I buy a lot of land and have somebody's home right next to me, just like I've had in America, when I'm trying to get away from that?
Mhm.
If you buy an acre of land, trust me, and you're my neighbor, there's gonna be an acre between us. Like I said, I'll take a golf cart. I'll get over to you, Monty. I'll get over to your spot, but it's gonna be a little space. You know what I mean?
Peter, is it broken down on the in the files? What countries can we buy in and how much per acre in each? Like in Nigeria, how much is an acre? Is that all laid out?
No, in Nigeria, we have not cultivated the opportunity to buy land. And there are some very specific reasons for that. Nigeria is a really big place, and it's got a lot of challenges. What I have to do is I have to, in my estimation, determine whether or not I'm comfortable sending you, Kev, to live in Nigeria, and whether or not I think I can ensure that you'll be safe. I can't.
Where can we buy?
Definitely in Zambia. You can definitely buy in Tanzania. And I will tell you, and again, so this is just for the Grand Rising, so I'll share these details. But in Tanzania, where we're buying land, it's in a place called Morogoro. Okay. If you look up Morogoro on YouTube, the first thing that you're going to see is that the high-speed railway that is going to connect all of East Africa is being built in Morogoro. When we say being built, this isn't somebody talking about it. No, the overpass is already in place. This is the high-speed railway. So we have access to that land. And we bought up 100 acres. And so now we've been given access to other land from other leaders. So I think that the price is going to be somewhere commensurate with what we bought the original acres for, but you can find that in the Ledge Group. Jamar Spite is the executive director there. But that would be, in my mind, probably your best. That is ownership of the land that is handed down forever, right? And it's in a place that is, so this is 2 hours from Dar es Salaam, right? Which is generally one of the #1 tourist places in Africa, 2 hours away. So that's really good land. It's nice land. I bought mine there and I'm building a home there.
Okay, so Tanzania and Zambia.
Yep.
And
There is land, I own land in Ghana as well. I bought a plot in Ghana. Again, as I said, I will build something. I may build a school. I may build a vacation lodge for when I'm in Ghana and have somewhere to play. Ghana will never be my primary residence.
Okay, we have a question, Peter, from Uchenna.
Yes.
Oh, Chenna, can you hear us okay?
Yes, yep. Greetings. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. Thank you.
Peace and love.
Pleasure to have you, sis.
I love your spirit, Peter. I enjoy seeing your Facebook posts, so I'm really glad that you're having this meeting right now.
Thank you. And I intend to have them monthly as time will allow. But again, I need my people to be able to approach, access, ask anything, right? So.
Sure. So yeah, so great. So you actually answered a lot of my questions. My question is kind of like multi-part. It's related to moving physically to Africa and what that looks like. My specific story is I do have a family in Nigeria, but I grew up here and don't know them well. And so I don't feel confident moving. And what you just said about Nigeria, that's actually something my dad said, that it's not really stable. So I've been looking on, the Eastern coast instead. So what you said kind of reinforces the idea.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful people. It's and I don't want to give the impression that I give up on Nigeria. You see, we are active in Nigeria. One of the things that we've opened is the MMA training gym. So my goal is to have 1 million youth trained and in top form so that we can transform Nigeria. So I don't give up on it. I simply suggest, and I think of it this way, right? And you weren't here early. I built the Ledge Group for my mother, right? Keep that at the forefront of your mind. I built the Ledge Group for my mother. If I would not send my mother over there, then I'm not gonna send you, right? If you are hard and focused on Nigeria, then we're gonna put efforts into place to find a way to stabilize it and make it something that can work for you. But if in the end that I can't do that, then I'm gonna say, sis, I adamantly suggest you don't do that. Here's an alternative, you see?
Yeah, I understand and definitely appreciate that. And so my focus now is more so I just want to get out of the US, right? So I like Tanzania. And that's the other part of my question. Would it make sense for a single sister to make that move? Have you seen that? Is anyone else doing that?
Oh my goodness.
Children.
Sister Toraya, she's my hero. What? So she's a member, and she was on the resort about a year ago, putting bricks in the resort. But my sister she's got a house in the Gambia. The last I spoke to her, she's in Rwanda, and she's going back over to Tanzania to deal with our partner that has the resort in Zanzibar. And this sister, she is doing it. Now, I'm not gonna take credit, that ain't mine, but I will say, when she came to our operating areas, she was 100% accommodated for and safe. I wasn't involved in her efforts in Rwanda, so I can't certify that. I wasn't involved in, kind of her transition to Gambia. I can't certify that. I can say that in our areas, the absolute goal, sister, is 100% for that, so that you do not have to walk alone, and so that we can ensure the safety of our brothers and sisters wherever we go. This is why we have to produce a footprint first. I can't have any one of our members go anywhere and somebody say, yo, look, if you go there by yourself, any one of you, if you go to any of these countries by yourself, I'm telling you, you're simply a paycheck. To anybody that sees you, they're gonna get whatever they can right here, right now. And that is true of every moment of your experience. They're gracious, they're nice, but they gonna get you, okay? This is why we needed to produce a reputation first. That way, when you see us step off, everybody knows who we are. Everybody knows who we are. And we're not gonna directly deal with you. You're gonna deal directly with our contacts who you already have a relationship with. So we're not paying what everybody else is paying. The intent is to ensure you don't walk alone.
Yo, Pete.
I love that. Thank you.
Peter, I got a question, man. Me and my mother, we're looking to make our transition over to Tanzania sometime next year. And I wanted to get a few recommendations on how to go about that. Do you have anything in mind, things that we should consider on making that move? But we're really looking to make that transition next year.
Bruh, you do see, we are, so right now we are, as a matter of fact, Kimani is likely with Kimani's with the builders right this minute.
No.
So, and what they're doing is they are kind of defining every single thing that we are going to need. So the answer to your questions, I can tell you what you need. You're going to need water, and to be able to control it, you're going to need power, right? You're going to need your home. You're going to need to know where the shops are and have a vehicle. You're going to need all of these various things. And before a year has passed, all of those things will be in place for you. Get your land. And again, Jamar Spite is going to be your contact. Get your land and let's start building that out.
I already got the land. I'm ready to go.
Hey, yo, yeah. We out. Make sure, I know y'all made sure. Make sure y'all close to mine. Let Jamar know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be close to me. Don't be too close, because I said I'm gonna have an outdoor shower. I'm gonna change. Y'all gonna think about me different. I'm gonna be free. Shoot.
Peter, we so ready to go. Like, we weren't even thinking about even renting when we get there, because Forex will be our income, so we'll make the income US dollar income.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So you don't have a challenge. Y'all could, but so a couple of things. Is it could you go there and rent a place and have your place built and live there? Yeah, you're gonna spend a lot of money. It's not US money, you could do that, absolutely. We've got Kimani on the ground, and we've got Dre as co-executive directors that are gonna manage the Morogoro projects. So we can ensure, and those are repatriates, right? These are both people that came from America that are on the ground there right now. So we can ensure the project being done. My feeling, just because I'm cautious and I say, let's do step by step. My feeling is get it built, right? And put those things in places that you want. You're gonna need internet, let's get your internet connected. If it's not stable, let's ferret that out before you get there. Let's get your water in place. Let's get those things. Let's get you to the place that when you walk in, everything that you need is what it is. And then go ahead and have your experiences, begin life in Africa, I don't want to dissuade you from the idea of renting. You absolutely could. If I had the wherewithal, let me tell you, I would. I would be in Africa right now. I would be waiting for my house to be built in Zambia, waiting for my house to be built in Tanzania, and I would be staying there. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Appreciate it, brother.
Okay, I'm jumping around in questions. Is there a plot left in Morogoro? We got plenty of land left in Morogoro. Does the Ledge Group own any media outlets in any of the African countries? How can we stay updated with current events in each country? Not sodden with propaganda. If it is in the Ledge Group, to what extent are current events reported? So we built out a website. We now have a mobile app. It is currently being built out, and a lot of things end up kind of on my plate and waiting for me to do them. So it's not as built out as it should be. But in the short term, we've used social media to produce this vehicle. But in the short term, I don't think it's scalable, and we need to have our own medium. So that's why the app comes into place. That's why the website comes into place. And yes, we do have, so when you say media outlet, we have Shivix Media, who does videos and movies in Nigeria. And we're gonna have some amazing things coming out relative to the things that we're doing. Okay. Brian, I have 2 questions. Are alleged membership processing still on hold? No. The logic behind this orientation was to perform the level set personally. So you could talk to me, ask all of your questions. I don't want anyone to join the Ledge group unless you are 100% confident and understand what we do, how we do, and what's expected of you, right? You should never join anything without that full understanding. Okay, so I determined to build these orientations exactly for that reason. So I will orient everyone. When you join the Ledge group, I've got an orientation in there, and I'm going to introduce you to your executive directors and all of the resources that are available to you. So I'm going to walk you through it. Okay, and so because that is the case, absolutely, you can now join the Ledge group if you are ready. Again, ask all your questions, get your paperwork signed and sent in, and you are welcome. Do you foresee regarding the security of what's built in the various countries in Africa? I can't say too much, but I will say, because I got my COO here and he'll kick me, but we have opened Ogun Security, and wow. Wow. Now, to do a level set, again, in the diaspora, you know what we have is we have a safety net. We have a park ranger that's going to come save you from a lion or a bear. You have the safety net here in America. If something happens, somebody snatches your watch, you can call the police and they show up. You've got that safety net. I'm promising you, where we go, the only safety net that will exist is what you build. Okay, which is why we opened up the security company, right? To keep it real funky.
I was regarding IT challenges more so over physical challenges. As far as
IT challenges?
Yes.
No infrastructure. Without Gaddafi was the first to launch 2 African-owned satellites. Prior to that, there was none, right? So the infrastructure is not in place the way it is in America. And let me tell you something. That's a good thing. It is good that we have had the benefit of watching this. See, what America did was they ran lines above the ground from point to point all throughout this nation. And now look at those lines. People are coming up with cancer. People are like the things that America did on her way to becoming a superpower were mistakes. Right? And we can see the pain points as a result of that. Africa hasn't done that. So guess what? We get to leapfrog those mistakes. Today, we've got wireless technologies. We don't have to destroy the landscape with power poles and power transformers that are burning up the ground and producing cancer in the people. We don't have to do those things. We don't have to make those mistakes. So today, the infrastructure is not to the extent that you are used to in America. I'm gonna say it again, ain't no safety net. There's no safety net. The things that you have become used to here, and I encourage people to take a trip. In fact, I encourage you all to join us in August. August 15th, I'm gonna be in Tanzania, and we're gonna be at the grand opening of our resort. I encourage you. Right now, we're about 3-4 months away. Get your visa, join us. Right? Come, break bread. We'll go to the hot springs in Arusha and take it over. We will go and do the safaris together. We will do those things. We'll visit the place where Australopithecus was found 3.4 million years ago and signifies the first human, right? We will do those things. I encourage you to do that. It is important to see what it is like in Africa so that you can actually have an appreciation for what America provides for you, because she does provide for you. There are things that you get and we don't recognize it until it's removed, right? The most sobering thing I ever saw was a truck flipped over in a ditch in Kenya. And as we drove by, it was really stark to me that there was no emergency vehicles there. There wasn't no fire truck or no ambulance. There wasn't no police. There were people just walking around. There are things that you gain here that you just ain't even really, you didn't know, right? I didn't know. It was when I got there and I realized what they didn't have that I was able to appreciate what we did have. So there is no safety net. We want a stronger network. We're going to build that stronger network. You know what I mean? And I'm not scared. I like that, you know? I'm sorry. I know, because I be just, you see, where can you find the ledge forms to read? It is in the Grand Risings. My dear mother sister, Camila Shabazz, how are you? All right, all right. They are in the Grand Risings room. And I'll make it, if you need, I'll make it easy for you. You just hit me up, let me know. I'll get them for you.
Like seeing widespread poverty in the U.S. due to.
What's that? What'd you say, Rich?
I didn't realize I was unmuted.
Yeah, we heard all of that, man. I don't know. You know, you need, I'm sorry. You need religion. No,
my bad, brother.
I'm sorry. So, Lyrica, you have a question, please. I'm sorry. I can't see. Oh, I can see your raised hand. Oops. I'm sorry, sis.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Does the Ledge plan to do projects with landowners here in America?
It's a challenge. It's a real challenge because so owning land in America, like depending on where you are, like you don't have mineral rights, which means
we do. We actually
Oh,
have
you in
mineral
what you in
rights.
South Carolina?
We're in Louisiana, Mississippi, it's Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas, and Iowa.
Yes, sister. Let me answer that without any ambiguity and with complete certainty. Absolutely. What we're looking to do right now is, because again, I'm tired of, you know, you got so many talkers in the world and you got so many misdirections. I'm tired of everybody talking about hemp, but ain't nobody really doing anything. So we about to pay this consultant to come put on this training to teach our teams how to raise hemp, harvest hemp, process it into bricks, load test it, and build with it.
Oh,
I
yes.
then
Oh, my goodness.
want those teams, I want those teams to replicate that in Alabama, in Mississippi, in Louisiana, in Texas. I want, to really, really keep it funky, what I'm trying to do is go access that vibranium and put it into my people's hands responsibly. That's the goal.
I actually have access to hemp seeds and to I've done some things with hemp. I'm obsessed with it.
Yes. Yes.
It's one of my favorite plants. So
yeah.
this is great to hear. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Mikkel, did you have a question? Can I put you all on hold 1 second? And look, my COO, he wants to talk, he wants to sing. You remember how when Fred Zampis would say, I'm on TV? And he would say, I've lived. You remember how Fred used to?
Hey, I'm cooking something right now.
Oh, all right, all right.
I'll be back in a second.
No,
Miss
you
Walker.
can't leave it cozy.
Huh?
You can't leave it cozy. I was just so excited. I was about to say peace and love, brother.
Yeah, I love you too. Hold on 1 second.
Could you keep the air from going dead, Mist? She who walks the mist. I'll be right back.
Yes, peace and love, everybody. So
Peace
I'm
and love.
gonna sing y'all a song. Y'all ready? Y'all gotta send me some Cash App though. I'm just joking. I'm not gonna sing. Okay. So do we have any more questions? We can keep this moving.
I do. Peter said, hold on. So I'll wait till he comes back.
If it's something that I can answer, I'll answer it. But if not, then we can just hold it for when he comes back.
Okay. Well, let me say peace and greetings to the family. Excited to be here. I've been watching. I'm a member of the Grand Rising, I believe, but I've been watching and kind of keeping my ear to the ground with the Ledge Group for a couple of years or so. But I'm just battled back from a broken neck. So my question is, how could I get involved? And I heard him say that the fee dropped or whatnot. He changed the fee to something more affordable from $1,000. So how much is that, and how much is the trip over to Tanzania?
Okay, you need me to answer that? In
Go
my
ahead.
head?
Brother.
As far as dropping, the fee got dropped for families,
Mhm.
which means a husband and a wife, instead of paying $1,000 a piece, it's a combined fee of I think it's $1,750, and each child is I think $250. So
Okay.
as far
Well,
as an individual, it's still $1,000 per person.
okay. Well, I do have a family and myself, and we are interested. Right now, I'm the only one that has a passport.
Okay. Yeah, you
but
want to solidify that at this point because of all the things that are going on.
Yeah, you definitely want to get the babies their travels. And the other thing is there are members, a lot of us members don't have our children as members yet, but they plan to. So if you want to, get yourself situated and then get themselves, get your children situated after.
You
okay.
could do
well,
that as well.
Can I message somebody, because my Facebook name is different? I use my ancestral name on Facebook, but Mikhail is my government name.
Okay, so you're in the Grand Rising. So what you have to probably do is speak to Mist Walker, and she'll get your information. And
Absolutely. You can send me a private chat, and what I'll do is I'll comprise everyone's contact information from this call specifically and send it directly to Peter if you are interested about becoming a member. And I'll mute myself because I be talking, y'all. I be talking.
Yeah. I'm definitely interested, and I would like to make that move this week, as long as my plan for my funds materializes. I can go ahead and make the jump with you all and do what I need to do and go ahead and start preparing for my family.
have you read everything that we have
I
in the
did
Grand
in the
Rising?
beginning. I did in the beginning because it was actually Peter himself. I forget how we linked up, but he pointed me where to go. It's been a minute since I read it, so I need to go back over everything because it's kind of fun. Like I say, I was in a terrible accident, and that's kind of really put my life in disarray.
Okay, because I want everybody who joins to have no ambiguity as to what they're getting into.
Okay.
Because I just like to make it known that we are not an investment club.
All right. Yeah.
He went over that. He killed that. He done beat that horse down.
Okay, good. I'm just coming in. I just want to know where I stand.
Okay.
So I know
he went through it. He went through it. Yes, he did, brother.
Okay.
Yeah. He made that perfect. Which he a couple years ago he made that clear to me as well. So I'm abreast with that.
All right.
Thank
you,
sister.
Other questions.
Go ahead, Armand.
I said I noticed. I believe Jasmine Banks. She had asked a question about how do she create a passive income on a continent, and she wants to know, should she create a business on a continent to sustain herself? And I wanted to answer part of that by letting her know, learning Forex or learning stocks, but preferably Forex. We do teach classes in ASIC, which is available to Grand Rising members to teach them about Forex and to create a passive income, and you can make money anywhere on the planet. So if you can join that Facebook group, that is one way of getting a passive income, and you can make this income anywhere in the world. And also, yes, you should be looking forward to creating a business on a continent, everywhere in the continent, if possible, wherever the ledge is. But I just wanted to throw that out there because she wanted to know, and I know that feeling of not knowing how to create a passive income and how to create a business on a continent. So I just want
that is a perfect answer, and I'm going to add to that.
Just get ready to speak to that.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
I encourage you to pull out one of Malcolm X's favorite movies was The Imitation of Life, and it was a scene where the sister was making pancakes, and people would have to come to the store to make them to get them pancakes, and they were dope. And one dude said, "Look, I'm gonna make a deal with you. I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna change everything that you ever do. but you need to give me whatever. And so they said, yeah, okay, he agreed. And dude said, put it in a box. You got the best pancakes in the world. Put it in a box, sell it in stores all over the world. And that was how the Aunt Jemima thing came into being, right? So what my suggestion to you is, yes, open up a business. And why do I say open up a business? Because it is not simply a matter of us going to Africa and doing for ourselves. It is also a matter of building Africa. So that means building relationships. It means building partnerships. It means building economy. So yes, I want you to eat, but at the same time that you eat, I want somebody else to eat too. You understand? So yes, absolutely. And whatever it is that you dreamed, let me tell you, my dear sister, I never in my life, I wanted to build a maternity ward. I see what's going on. I see the fibroid tumors in my sister. I see how childbirth is detrimental to my sisters within these Western societies. I see that. So I always wanted to build a maternity ward. I could have never done that in America. And so we named a goal and we achieved that goal. So I suggest to you, dream. Don't let your dream be small. Make it big and shout it out. And we make it happen. We'll find the contact for you. We'll get that business open and we'll be behind you to ensure that you can flourish. Now, if at the end of that business fails, sis, ain't no worries. That's all right. We tried. I'm going to encourage you to step back up again and try something else. That's all. But we're going to keep trying because there's no option. We don't have an option. What you going to do? Going back to them? You can't, right? So we're going to try until we get there. All right.
The issue is, so you say dream, but I've been a teacher all my life. That's the only thing I know. That's the only skill I have, right? So I teach middle school. So I'm like, how can I turn that into something profitable? Because I don't want to bring in Western ideas and teach Western ideas. So I don't know what I would do to
your teaching.
Let me say something. Every single thing that you've learned here in the West is not bad. Okay? Who you are and what you bring in your studies may be relevant to what's going on there that will help them see things from another perspective so that they can blossom. Understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Don't minimize what you've learned here.
That's right.
You understand? Maximize it. Like my brother Akon said, what you do in America, do here in Africa, and you can have a Fortune 500 company in 5 years. That's true. The ledge is proof. We might not have income to prove Fortune 500, but boy, we are a Fortune 500 force to be reckoned with in Africa.
We are multinational corporation.
There is nowhere in Africa, and I mean nowhere, and I don't care if it's in the Congo, I don't care if it's in Sierra Leone, there is nowhere in Africa where if you say the ledge, they won't know. It's impossible. Because you have different tribes all over Africa, right? But they're in different quarters of everywhere we are. So they speak to their cousins over there where they are, and they speak to their cousins and their brothers over there where they are, and so on and so forth. There's nowhere we're not. So if you need help or assistance finding anything that you need, believe me, we can do it. We will do it. There's no can. We will do it. Okay?
So
I have a question.
Okay,
Yes.
1 second. To
Okay.
your teaching experience. I found in different areas that I traveled that some of their teachers didn't really understand how to articulate words, and they taught the children that. And when you speak to the children, you can hear every single person making the same mistakes. I'll tell you an example. In Uganda, in the area of Mount Elgon, when they said the word particularly, or anytime there was a CT together, they said ch, particularly is what they said. What this is indicative of is a teacher that's trying to teach them the English language, but doesn't have a really firm grasp on it themselves. Here's the other thing. I feel that it is our responsibility. See, the people in China, they only know you based on the stereotypes that they have seen that your enemy has put out there. The people in Africa, they know you only by way of the stereotypes that your enemy has put out there. You have an opportunity to rewrite history, right? In many cases, I know, you know, your experiences are your own, but I can promise you in many cases, you will go to places that they don't have any idea that you were even in America. They don't know how you got to America, right? They have no idea as it relates to the history. The same colonizer who has educated us has educated them, and they have omitted from them the things that they've omitted from themselves relative to what they did to you. So you have an opportunity, right? You have an opportunity as a teacher. Now, there will be culture shocks. The majority of the schools that you see in Africa are boarding schools. That ain't something that you used to, right? You used to 3 o'clock getting rid of all them little children, right? It's a little different in Africa, but it's also, I want to say, it's also real beautiful, you know? It's also real beautiful. So is it valuable? Absolutely. Let's find, now again, what we have to do is we can't go in thinking we have the answer for everything, but we can be strategic and with guile, we can make specific impact, which is why I went to Ghana and gave them the solar workshop for free, right? It was something very valuable to them. And it is something that they will be able to feed themselves based on, and they are. So you want to teach? I suggest we develop a curriculum that addresses what is primary in their minds is, how do I make money? In doing that, we're going to teach them English. We're going to teach them history, right? While I was there in Ghana teaching solar alternatives, oh, best believe I taught them a lot more than that, you know? So you use trickery, you use guile, you use everything that you have to meet multiple goals, you know? So yes, I say that teaching is very valuable. Sister Chiquisha is on the call. She's got a school that her mother ran in Ghana, and we were blessed to be able to walk through. She offered us some space to open up that school. And again, I'm Mama Shakisha, you already know, I'm working on everything. I never forget a thing that was said. So we're gonna get there. We're gonna get to that place. And Brother Joseph Anthony is killing it in Ghana. This man is expert level solar installer, expert level. He's built some of the biggest systems in that area now, expert level. So we got the talent, we produce the talent, right? We produce the talent. Now we pull it together and use it. Yeah. Now, 1 second, Sister Lyrica, I'm sorry. Again, if y'all get me to
You're okay.
I was just about to say,
Just let me know when you're ready.
More questions. Thank you.
I know. Go ahead, Sister Lyrica.
I have 2 questions now.
Okay.
First question is, with the membership fees, are they a one-time fee, or like how does that work?
It is a one-time fee. Brother Antonio earlier, Brother Antonio be hard on it. What he was saying was, and they need to do a monthly dues, no questions. And we've spoken about it in the past. The challenge has been that because we didn't start the Ledge Group with monthly dues, I have been reluctant to make any changes to our model. So when our earliest members signed up, there weren't no monthly dues. So it's real hard for me to now turn to them and say, okay, now you need to pay dues. It's kind of challenging to do. So today we have a single one-time membership fee, and there is a voluntary monthly dues. And again, voluntary, because I can't turn to somebody that I said, here's what I'm gonna do, and change that. I am very particular about my word.
Right. Got you. Second question. And it came when you were speaking about teaching about the schooling. History. Are you guys teaching the same history that's being taught here?
Oh, and this is what I'm saying. We have a we have a responsibility. Again, the people in China don't know who we are because they've only learned about us through the lens of the colonizer. The people in Portugal, all they use is the stereotypes that have been fed to them. We have a responsibility to put our emotions in check and recognize that that's where they deal. That's the only us they know. Don't get emotional, don't get mad, introduce them to who you are through your nature. And if we do that, I promise you, no. We are, you know why? Can I tell you why you're really so despised in America and in the diaspora? Because you are an inconvenient reminder to their inhumanity and immorality. No other people can speak to this history with 100% certainty. You shame them. Everybody else, look at the newly arriving immigrants. They don't know nothing about no slavery. They learned about Thomas Jefferson and George Washington and a wonderful song and an amazing flag. They have no idea about anything else. And absent that understanding, you wouldn't understand how we get to the place where we are today as a global family, right? So we serve as an inconvenient truth. We're the only ones that can tell the story. And so we have a responsibility to teach that story. So let me tell you, to your question, I was in Jamaica and I saw children playing soccer in a field. We were going up the mountains in Accompong. I saw the children playing soccer in the field. Now the sun was going down. Man, this was like some sort of a scene from a movie. The sun was setting and it was gigantic. And we stopped the car. I think I took a picture. But the backdrop to these children where they were playing soccer was this beautiful mountain range. And all you could see was these two little children in the field kicking this ball back and forth, the amazing sun going down, and this amazing mountain range. And it was beautiful, and I loved it. And I then instantly got sad because I know in my heart that those two children, their desire is to leave that paradise that they're in. Their greatest and fondest wish is to leave that paradise where they were and be in America. I know that. I also know what they're going to encounter when they come to America. They don't, and their parents may not. This has been put as the golden carrot for every people on the planet Earth. So they firmly believe that all of their dreams come true if they can come here. And you can't go in there, let me tell you, you can't go into Africa and think you can just tell them, no, you're wrong. That's not going to work. You're going to create a lot of resistance. Generations of their family have believed this to be a true thing. It happens with grace. It happens with compassion and with consistency. All learning happens through repetition. You tell your child, stop, 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 right? Or you give them a lesson and you repeat it over and over. And eventually your voice becomes the inner voice that they listen to later on, right? We do it through repetition. We do it through, again, like I said, trickery. When those youth walked away from that solar workshop in Ghana, whoo, They walked away with an awful lot more than just understanding how the principles of electricity and how to use and harness it. They walked away with a lot. And that is how we do it.
My reason for asking that, because we have a responsibility to unlearn and relearn. And within the last 10 years, there's things that we have unlearned and relearned regarding a lot of the melanated people who are in America. All of us didn't come over on a slave ship.
That's right. That's right.
I just wanted to add one thing. Like me moving here to North Carolina from the North, Jersey and New York, you get the unique opportunity to rewrite your own individual script. And you get the unique opportunity to be exactly who you are by going to Africa. And they can't know anything about you other than what you put forth.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So the reality is, you get to be that entrepreneur. You get to be that mother. You get to be that teacher. You get to be that woman or that man that you have always desired to be.
That's right.
If you are the most downtrodden person looked down upon in America as an African man, when you get there, you can be viewed as a lord, because that is what you bring forth, because no one knows you.
Well, again, and I spoke to that earlier. It is a little different. In Africa, your value is not demonstrated by way of what you have. It's not.
Exactly.
Well, they will look at you as a paycheck, right? Go on in there with your flashy Jordans and all your stuff like that. They're going to look at you as a paycheck and you're going to be a mark. That's what you're going to be, right?
Soon as you open your mouth.
What the African will respect, different from America. See, America, your value is reflected by how big your house is, how shiny your car is, how big your sneakers are, how much rings you got on your hand, right? In Africa, your value is reflected by your utility. What can you do? And that is what makes a human. See, we've been separated from the natural being, right? That's what makes us valuable. What can you do? And you get to flourish in that space. Oh, I tell you, it's a rebirth. It is a whole new world. Go ahead, Kev. I see you there, brother.
Peter, when are you going again? August 15th till what?
August 15th till they throw me out.
Okay, the other thing, mental health, how do they look at that over there? You know, myself and my lady are both clinicians, mental health clinicians.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's a challenge. It's a serious challenge. Wow. Wow, it's a serious challenge. And again, I think I have to fall back on the same statement that I've made a couple of times. There is no safety net. The only net that will exist is what we build. We all know that they need better mental health. We know, and I'm still focused on low-cost production of prosthetics because it's necessary. The Safari Resort, have you noticed the wide berth in the doors and in the areas? That is because it is wheelchair accessible. No matter what the norm was, we're building look, what I want you to do is I want you to consider the ideal and don't crush that down into a little box. Let's build the ideal. So mental health is very important. And I won't take too much time, but I will share this story. There was a little boy that lived in an area in Sudan. And every day there were these bomb runs, the plane bombing runs. Well, one day he saw, and everybody knew this, it happened. And they had means of which everybody would run and take shelter. Well, this little boy got caught out into a field and he couldn't get to the shelter. So what he did was he ran behind a tree and he was afraid. But what he did was he reached around the tree to hold on and let this pass. Well, when he did, both of his arms were blown off, okay? And you know, they interviewed him. It's actually this white dude. He's very cool and he does great work. He's building low-cost prosthetics on the continent. But this little kid, when asked, said, well, I just want to die. And I want somebody to help me die because I'm a burden on my family. I can't do nothing, right? I'm a burden on my family. This child made this decision. Cozy, I'm gonna mute you.
I'm gonna do.
This child made this very difficult decision and statement very clearly. I'm a burden on my family and I would prefer that I were dead. So mental health is very important. Not simply mental health, but physical challenges, blindness. These things, again, it requires us. It needs us. And you gotta put on your patient's hat because it ain't gonna change overnight. But it needs us. And absent our influence, the only way that it is going to change is in the form and fashion that the colonizer puts in place. And that won't be good for anybody. So it requires, we have a responsibility, Kev. You feel me? We got a responsibility to bring that in and to educate them and to do it with love and with patience.
And that comes with working through the community. You don't just jump in and say, come in my office.
No.
You know, we got to figure out what the hook is, if you will.
Well, that's what you had to do with me, wasn't
What
it?
services we provide.
Ain't that what you had to do with me as a kid in school? Cozy, you wasn't here. You don't know. Kev was a teacher of mine in school.
There's one more question.
I heard.
Shipping? Oh, go ahead, Nkosi. I didn't mean to cut in.
No, I said I heard.
He heard.
Yeah, I heard.
Are you shipping anything before we go in August?
Yes, Peter, I just wanted to know if we were shipping anything because I know the shipping issue in Tanzania.
Yeah. So I, at one point, you know, I worked hard to get the things that I have, and I have some beautiful things. And so in my mind, I was like, yep, I'm going to ship my motorcycle. I'm going to ship my cars. You know what? I'm taking a bag. I'm traveling light. I ain't bringing nothing to Africa. And you know why? If I'm going to eat at a dinner table, I want to buy that dinner table from Africans and they benefit from them dollars. If I'm going to buy a door, I'm going to buy that door in African. I am not bringing anything.
I'm with you.
Now, okay, but you still have a very good question. And that was relative to the ports in Tanzania. The Ledge Group has people on the docks.
Really?
We got people on the docks in Tanzania. We got people on the docks in Ghana. We got people on the docks. This was why we did what we did, to produce that access in every single area, everywhere. The access that we need in order to be able to get things done. So, yes, we can reliably get things off of the dock in Tanzania. Not a problem.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
But
awesome.
I wouldn't
because I
bring,
know that-
if you brought a car to Tanzania, first of all, so the way that these things work, and this isn't just Tanzania, if you shipped a car from America to Africa, the cost of shipping that car is one thing. But once you get to that port, it's a ransom situation.
40%.
They about to ransom your car to you. And don't let your car have the wheel on the wrong side. Don't let there be any, look, you don't want to do it. It would, and furthermore, our little foo-foo she cars that we got in America, they gonna die as soon as you get out the airport in Africa. It's gonna be dead on the side of the road. Get you a car in Africa, right? And that is gonna serve you the best. Furthermore, it serves the economy. With every single dollar you spend, different than America, and I want us to be aware of this, with every dollar you spend, I suggest you recognize that it is a relationship. You ain't gonna be looking at me as some refugee or some foreigner. You're not gonna do that. This is a relationship, and I want you to build that relationship. So rather than bringing a car over there, buy one there. We'll get you the right price so that they don't gouge you. Get one there. Anything that you need, get it there.
Okay, Peter, because I bought so many things to ship to Ghana over the years. And I don't think, and I have a lot of land in Ghana, but I don't think I'm going to Ghana anymore. Like you said, there's no long-term plan. The president is corrupted. And it's heartbreaking to see. I'm not sure if you saw the Rastafarian thing, the kid that they weren't allowing into the school. They kicked him out.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So those are the things that just breaks my heart. And I think I'm going to keep my land in Ghana, all the land I have for the children, and move to Tanzania.
Yep.
So the things I have here, if I can ship them and we all can use them, I have a living room full of stuff that I was supposed to ship there, but plans has changed.
Yeah.
So if we can get them there, we'll all have use for it. And we'll have these certain things that we probably can't get there.
So my expectation is that there will be members that are shipping things. And again, some of the value of what we're doing. So Brother Kimani is at the builder, and I've not gotten an update. It's probably already in my email. But what he is impressing upon those builders is that he's not coming as one person to have a house built. He's come and he's representing 300 people. So we go and negotiate everything as a group so you don't walk alone. Look, and I mean, again, here we go. She who walks in the mist. Again, really the way that we need to be doing this is we need to be reaching out to the airline and saying, look, the Ledge Group has a group of people going to Tanzania in August. What is the deal that you're going to give us? You hear me? And I'm saying, when you're talking about car insurance, you can go as one or we can go as a block, right? And this is the logic. It is Ubuntu. It's to join arms and walk together. So if you got a challenge, I got a challenge, huh? If you have to go this way, we have to go that way to ensure that you can go that way and come back safe. Somebody asked about PayPal. No, we don't use PayPal. Did us dirty. They did not like us at all. We, what happened was we were sending so much money coming in and going out. And everybody was using a friends and family. So PayPal wasn't getting paid. Whoa. Then what happened was we were sending money to Africa. Now, this was before PayPal actually opened in Africa, right? And we were sending so much money to Africa, and even Western Union. They pushed back on us and said, okay, who is this person that you're sending money to? I gave him a name. How do you know this person? I told him how I know them. Have you met this person in person and prove that you were there and met that person? I'm like, wait. This is my money that I'm sending to Africa. And I got real funky. And so what they ended up doing was closing our account, saying it was fraud. But understand what they are saying. They didn't have any problem with me. They were saying that the contact I was sending it to, I didn't know. So this was a fraud. They thought I was, man, look. And Western Union did the exact same thing. So I went in to try to send some money through Western Union. And the dude said, oh, no, you can't send money. It's fraud. What?
They stopped every one of us.
You got cash money in front of your face. My identification, you know who I am. The hell fraud are you talking about, man? Yeah. So again, the colonizer does not want this to happen. When I was young, I learned that Idi Amin was a cannibal. And this was the propaganda that they spread to us. And so later on, as I matured and I studied who Idi Amin was, I earned great respect for that man that made the Queen of England bow before she said a word to him, you know? So there has been a concerted effort to keep us from connecting. And I won't be dissuaded. What is the option? You know, what is my option? So we don't use, PayPal shot our account, threw it in the backyard, fed it to the dog. So did Western Union. This is why today we use Cash App. It is what we had been reduced to. Is there more questions? Gwen, did you ask it? Whoever didn't ask their question, can you go ahead and just unmute your microphone? Just unmute your microphone and go ahead and ask. Do we have alleged group currency? Watson. Oh, my brother. How you doing, family?
I'm doing well, brother. How you feel?
I'm all right. You got the nerve to ask me, do we have alleged group currency? And you tell me, do we have alleged group currency?
Yes, sir, happy.
But in all seriousness, I would really, because we're moving in that regard, I would really encourage you to engage Philip Jones and Jamar Spite. We're moving quickly into the areas of NFTs and currencies, as well as Otis Thomas. If you would, please, because again, yeah, that's where we're going. That's where we're going.
Great.
All right.
Do you have a question, Siri?
Greetings. I just wanted to get on and say greetings. Hello. It's good to be here, and I'm happy to be a new member, and I'm just looking forward to building and, you know, continuing planting these seeds of Sankofa. I have another meeting I'm headed to now, but I've been in the background just moseying about, but I couldn't exit out of this meeting without saying greetings to everyone.
Much love and light. Much love and light.
Indeed. An honor to have you, sister.
Oh, it's an honor to be here. Well, I wish y'all Uncle Jocelyn for the rest of your weekend and beyond.
Yes, have a masterful weekend, sis. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Bye.
I'll catch up to you.
All right.
I'm getting ready
that's
to
a good.
drop off too, Peter.
What? Say again.
I said I'm getting ready to drop off too. I have some homes to sell.
Go on with that there.
Let me speak to, hey, Peter.
Yes, sir.
Mist, before Mist goes. Is she still there?
Yep.
Yes.
Mist, I owe you an apology for calling you out. I didn't realize you guys had a joking relationship.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought we might have a wolf in sheep clothing.
Oh,
so I
no,
apologize, sis.
Oh, no, she meant that. She meant that. That's my cousin. So, Kev, I did I'm heavy into my DNA and ancestry. Well, come to find out, my cousin's even heavier because she found me. You understand what I'm saying? So, so that is my blood cousin right there.
Okay. I just thought she was calling you out and I was calling her out.
You're gonna find that my family does that. Just let them go, and we're gonna do it.
He really is a phenomenal leader. I let me tell you something about how I feel about Peter. He inspires me all the time, and when he tries to downgrade, you know, who he is, he doesn't do a good job. So I'm always gonna respect the elder. He is definitely my elder cousin.
Nice.
And one thing that I learned at a young age was to listen to the elders because they come with a lot of wisdom. And at the same time, the elders who can empower the younger generation, you know, for us to live our dreams and to do what we want to do and what we see is right in this world. You know, a lot of elders don't empower the youth that way. So it's really awesome. I'm going to check out of here, y'all. So I just want to say peace and love. Everybody have a masterful day. And I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, peace and love.
All right, you too.
Peace and love to me from me as well. Peter knows what time it is for this old man.
Bedtime, innit?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Gotta go.
All right.
All right. Have a good one,
Peace,
everybody.
family.
Peace.
Sherry, yes, we're working on some currencies. We've got some things working in the background. And we've got some really amazing minds involved in it as well. So active in that regard. I see something else that you wanted to speak to. Speak to me privately and we'll determine. Okay. Steven, I see something. I see you, brother. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Oh man, I can't complain. You still in Afghanistan?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be home, well, you know, for vacation probably in a couple of months. So, you know, just getting things together for us or whatnot.
You gonna be
And
in Tanzania in August?
I'm gonna try to be honest with you. There's no guarantee. But I'm definitely going because I want to go myself to get things going as far as like, you know, so we can build, you know, the rifle range and the training facility and whatnot. So yeah, I definitely want to go.
In relation to your kind of project plan going forward into security, is that what you see first, is the rifle range? And like kind of what do you, just for a vague idea, what do you see as kind of like a step 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, roughly right now for, you know, like, yeah, for, you know, a rifle range, because one of the things is if we, you know, we you know, can train and stuff right now, but like where we're gonna, you know, qualifications for weapons, how we're gonna go about do that. If we do, you know, we may have to use someone else's range,
right,
and we may have to pay them or whatnot.
Right.
So that's one of the first things I wanted to do is build the range. Then once build the range, then we, you know, have an area where we can do like classroom time. We can do have classroom for, you know, teaching things about different the weapons characteristics and whatnot.
Different
And then
platforms.
yep, and then, you know, another area, you know, teaching self-defense, hand-to-hand combat,
Yep.
or whatnot.
And then the
And
driving that you spoke of is very valuable as well, and the terrain lends to it very well.
oh yes. So definitely, as far as the corporate defensive driving, that is one of the courses I like, especially what some of the things that I, you know, what I do now is, you know, some of the driving or whatnot. And that's you know, for me, it's fun for me. You know, because you got the skid course where, you know, you do a bunch of donuts. You got to learn how to control the vehicle when it gets spun out of control or whatnot. So that's definitely something else I would like to build as well. You know, a skid course, and then also pretty much it's something similar to like a racetrack, where a racetrack course where, you know, we're more you know, doing different types of training at a high speeds or whatnot. So yeah, these are some of the things that I would like to do for training for the security company.
Now, question, we also have applied for the security company in Zambia, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. The security company in Zambia is registered. I got to go with Chilimu to see about the weapons permit.
Weapons permits, right, that's right. We're waiting
Yeah.
for weapons permits. Well, and I only bring that up because where you speak about a paved track, I know that you know, I think you know that I have requested the analysis associated with building out a Formula One racetrack in Zambia. The license for gambling is $300 per year. That's easy, man. The racetrack is asphalt, aggregate, fencing, bleachers, and concession stands. Easy, right? So absolutely, where you speak to the high speed driving, I think that lends to that. So again, I see us kind of on always moving in the appropriate direction. So awesome update. I know we need to get something for Samson, and I'm working on that, and we'll speak in that regard.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, we definitely can talk later about that. As far as that things for Samson and stuff, and another thing too, putting together like as far as like budget for equipment, etc. or whatnot, and uniforms and stuff. So
yep.
So yeah, we can talk later on.
Good, awesome. That is Stephen Pettis, our Chief of Security. We have a number of combat veterans that serve as the security chiefs. We have applied in each of our areas to have our own security and training, as well as licenses for any tools that we might need in that regard. So, I mean, I think I seen somebody say, is there, what was it? Are there any online resources or document we could look over to get a better understanding of what the Ledge Group is all about? That's what this meeting is for. It is to illustrate absolutely everything. And I'm going to share the recording. You missed much. We're kind of winding down now, but that's exactly what this meeting is for. So there are documents within the Grand Rising Room for you to read. I encourage you to go through them, understand them in full. However, this meeting is designed for you to come in and understand how it is, what we do, and when we do. And so what is the primary goal? The primary goal is to control for ourselves food, clothing, shelter, water, healthcare, security, sanitation, education, and utilities. To control those things for ourselves makes you free. Okay? There is no deadline for paying the membership fees. I have eliminated that. And the reason being is this meeting. I am going to do this on a monthly basis to orient you. I want to make sure that you hear it from the horse's mouth what the expectation is. I don't want, it doesn't serve you and it doesn't serve the effort if you should join and not really understand what it is that we do, how it is that we do, what is available to you, and how to really use that, right? So that's what this is really about, okay? Are there still farm projects that are open or, so we are working, yes, so we're farming in Zambia. What has happened historically is, and I'll tell you, I'll claim the ignorance, right? What we did was we went into different areas, different project areas, and we grew a crop of tomatoes or watermelons. And when it was successful, we said, okay, we grew 1 acre of land. It cost us $2,000, these are just hypothetical numbers. It cost us $2,000 to grow out that 1 acre of land. That 1 acre of watermelons produced X amount of tons of watermelons. We sold that, we ended up with $5,000 profit. So if we get 100 acres and we plant all of that out, at the end, we're gonna come back with $100,000. Well, it doesn't work that way. Agriculture isn't that way. You can grow an awesome tomato plant in one area of your garden one time and then try to duplicate that, and it's a totally different crop, right? You can't quantify agriculture that way. The conditions, the rain, the soil, the farmers, the seed, the insects, all of these things play a part. So we are growing food in Zambia. We are growing food in South Africa. We are raising chickens in South Africa. We're growing food in Kenya. And the locusts are an issue for the chickens because the chickens can't get enough of them. They eat locusts. They love that. So do ducks and geese. This is where you have locusts, get yourself some chickens. This is the passive aggressive way to deal with nature. But so yes, we are in agriculture. What I had to do was, so we made that mistake in saying, okay, if I grow 1 acre of tomatoes, I made 5,000. So if I grow 100 acres, I'm going to make 50,000. We made that mistake in the beginning. And a lot of the members took pain. And so what I have done since we opened is I have taken from my pocket and compensated the members. Everyone knows when they invested in these projects, it never came to me. It went straight, they pay the executive director, but it didn't work. It didn't do what we expected it to do. And the members were like, oh, it failed. And so again, in the name of kind of keeping us moving forward, I took from my pocket and I compensated that. We can't do that. I can't live that way. My COO just left and he said to me yesterday, you ain't taking not near one more penny out your pocket, because he knows how much I have paid personally in order to move us forward. So while we do have agricultural projects in each of these areas, I'm not letting anyone invest in them until we've turned it into something that we can qualify. So we've invested, as a matter of fact, I didn't even share the video. We just signed the papers on our truck. My guess is that my executive director right now, I can share that really quickly. Let me see. My guess is that the executive director in South Africa is driving that truck right now. Let me just, 1 second. He's probably sent me video relative to his driving it. So, wow. Now, somebody tell me something. Okay. So that's that's him at the office signing the paperwork for a truck that we just bought today for our operation in South Africa. Okay, we're making bricks there. We have chickens, we have the water, we have many operations, but we needed the logistics. Okay. And so what I do is I ensure that we can make it as stable. Again, it ain't gonna be 100%. It never will, right? And we have to account for those variables. We have to manage the expectation, right? It is not a silver bullet. It's never going to be. But what we're doing, I've never failed at anything because I've never quit at anything. So we're going to do that. We're going to build out the agricultural projects in all of those areas to be stable so that you can quantify. How do we do that? In Zambia, again, we didn't own the venue where we were selling our produce. So what ended up happening was we would grow out our produce. Oh my God, I can show you pictures of so many tons of watermelons and tomatoes. We grew it out, but because we didn't have a market, because we didn't have the endpoint to sell it, we were giving our produce to vendors on consignment. Well, what do you think happened? Yeah, when you went to deliver, there were people to work and help you and get that stuff off. When you went to collect, it was a ghost town. You know what I'm saying? The doors are closed. People don't answer their phone. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and this is what we bumped into. So you have to react. Okay, so we built the retail location and we have the retail location in Zambia. We further are completing the food trailer. And the food trailer, which was, what is the name of our burger? Burger Life in Zambia, food trailers. And we're gonna do burgers and chicken sandwiches. And those burgers are gonna come from our livestock. The chicken's gonna come from our livestock. Lettuce, tomatoes, onions, all of the things that you would put on a burger or a chicken sandwich are gonna come from our agricultural projects. So again, in South Africa, we got a retail location so that we could control the end point, right? The sale point. It's still a challenge because one of the benefits, one of the theoretical benefits associated with doing the consignment was we didn't have to deal with any rot. We didn't have to worry that the food was going to spoil on our hands. We could hand this off to someone, they put it in their market and they sell it. The problem is the ghost town when settle up time came, you know. But when we control our own retail outlets, you are going to experience that loss associated with, you know, depending on the speed with which your product hits that market, you're going to deal with rot and spoilage, you know. And I have creative ways of managing that, right? When you get to the point where you look like you're having spoilage, throw a barbecue, man. Hook up the neighborhood. Let's feed everybody, right? And get your name out there and get people to know who you are. And sometimes that can be more valuable than the $1 or $2 that you might make or lose on that produce. So I know I'm kind of long-winded, but I want you to understand it completely. Okay. Betty White, you are welcome, my sister. You say it was noble. Well, again, I know my people, and I know that my people have been burnt and scammed, and man, I mean, you know, I contributed to every movement that you see out there. I contributed to. I had hopes, and guess what? Though they may have fallen by the wayside, if those principles should start up again and try again, I'll support again. I want us to win. I want us to succeed. But based on the fact that I know that we've been hurt and I know that we have been scammed and all the rest of that, I knew that if our projects went sideways and one of our people said, you know what? I can't stand them people. I'm going to the man. I knew if that happened, it had the potential to stop what we were trying to do. So in my mind, it was easier for me to take it from my pocket and cover that to keep that from being a possibility. Okay. And so that's what I did. That's not scalable. And furthermore, it sets up a bad precedent. It sets up a precedent where there's one person that's risking it all in the name of producing freedom. That's not the way it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to be shared, right? It's supposed to be shared. We're all supposed to risk a little something to get to that place, not just me. So again, we've reshuffled, we reordered it a little bit to make more sense and be a little bit more clear, okay? So it wasn't noble, it was the cost to get here. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really was. Knowing that you know, one or two of my people scorned or angry or their expectation wasn't managed correctly could have them run straight to our enemy and try to bring us down. That's all right. I'll give you $1,000. I'm saying I'll give you, that was the cost to be here, you know? And we're here. Are there any other questions? You feel free. Tammy, I see your hand up. Is that a new? Yeah. I'm getting better. You see, I see the hand.
That's a while back, but Peter, you already
Oh,
answered
okay.
my question. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? So here's what I have recorded this entire session, and I may make it public. I'm going to review it. I don't know that there was anything shared that could not be shared publicly. I have to review it to ensure. But I'll make it available because I'm certain that some of you missed the beginning, and there was some important and very helpful information that was shared in the beginning. But again, this is something that I'm going to repeat and do every month. Okay, Brother Ronald, respect, Elder, much respect. Health and wellness, vitality and longevity, dear Elder. Good to see you. I'm going to do this monthly because I think it is important that I personally do the level set. I want people to hear directly from me. What is it that we're doing? What are the intentions? Where are we going? How are we getting there? I want there to be as much transparency as there possibly can. This is your machine. It's not mine. This is a machine for us. And where something doesn't work, then I'm going to push back on you and say, okay, make it work. Here's what it is. Here's why it is. Tell me how to make it work. Right? Tell the group how to make it work. The goal is Ubuntu. And the goal is to design the world in our imagination, build what we want it and need it to be. Okay. Are there any other questions?
Can I get a house built in Morogoro by August?
By August. That's not
a
likely.
house.
That's
I'm
not
just
likely.
I'm
But
just kidding. Probably
generally
around
it's about
house.
6 months.
Yeah.
Now, if the builder says 6 months, right? And I want a level set. Doing things in Africa isn't like doing things here in America. See, if you buy land, you go to the office, you pay your money, they give you a paper and your stamp. Wait a minute. Black people time is just a microcosm of African people time. African people don't give a damn about your timetable. Wait a minute. And the based on who they are, it's even more don't give a damn. Like if it's somebody that works in a state office, oh, stop playing. Stop playing. It will piss you off. They will intentionally, you'll walk in the office and their arms be slumped, and they're not moving. They're not moving. And if it's a chief, look, and you got to give him that. That's you know what I'm saying? That's what he got. That's what his role is. He gonna do it when he do it. You know what I'm saying? And don't. So when a builder in Africa tells you 6 months, add 3 to 6 to that. You know what I'm saying? Just to manage your expectation. You know? And if they come in at 6, awesome. But yeah, you know, you understand that it's Africa and put something on that. You understand? All right. So again, if there are no other questions, it has been my honor. Again, it's something that we're going to do again every month. I want you to come with your questions. There's nothing that's off base. If it's private, I will have to defer. If there's things that shouldn't necessarily be public, I will let you know that. But outside of that, it is important to me that everything be clear and above board, right? And that's the only way that we can grow this forever. Yeah, you need a visa for Tanzania. But the way to do it, let me tell you, if you get a visa for Tanzania, and I don't know, does anyone else go to East Africa? I think by default, if you get a visa for Tanzania, they give you an East African visa. So that covers Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. So no matter what, I think that you will get the East African, which is nice because our land in Laikipia is right over the border. We'd have to get one for Zambia because Zambia, so if you look at our operating areas, it's all very contiguous. Zambia borders Tanzania. Kenya borders Tanzania. Uganda borders Kenya. So like everywhere that we work, this is how come you hear me saying, I'm gonna build me a little house over here, a little house over there. I'm gonna have a spot over here. And I'm gonna do my whole life is gonna be East Africa. Somebody said settle down. Kev can attest, I ain't settled down then. I ain't settling down now. I'm keeping moving. Kev, you had a question, man.
Yeah, Peter, does a US passport cover us to hit all of these countries?
The passport, so to understand it, the passport gets you out of America. A visa gets you into another country.
So
Okay?
will you need separate visas?
Yes. For Tanzania, you need a visa. And for the trip in August, you need to start that process right now.
Already have a passport, so.
Yeah, so if I have a passport, what do I do?
You need to go to, if you do a search on the internet for visa for Tanzania, make sure that you're going to a website that says state.gov, I think it is. Make sure you're going to the actual Tanzanian embassy. There's scams out there, right? But it's going to walk you through the process. Now, there's also the opportunity for you in some of these places to get your visa when you land. Don't do it. Don't do it. You will have just gotten off of a flight after 24 hours, and then you're going to stand there and not have any little bit of fun while waiting to get a visa.
Really?
Do it in advance. Get it out of the way. It's much easier and better that way.
So is there a universal visa throughout Africa, or do
No.
you have multiple visas?
No, every single country in the world will have their own visa. Every country in the world. Now, Africa is trying to produce. I'm telling you, it's beautiful what's happening. You know, relative to the free trade agreement, there's conversation relative to producing a single currency for East Africa. There's, so it is progressive. We're moving in the direction that we need to. But today, no, you need a visa for every single country.
One more question. Excuse me. This is regarding membership. My lady, soon to be my wife, will she come in at my rate or at the new rate?
New rate, family.
Okay.
Okay. You're gonna get married? I love it. I love it. That's awesome, bro.
You gotta meet her first, right?
What's that?
We gotta break bread first.
Yes, indeed. Congratulations. I gotta check her out. Ask her some questions, you know. All right.
Exactly. You want to be on for a second? I have a gift for you that I've been holding on for probably 5 years.
Oh,
it's too small to really mail, so I just might have to come take a ride up there.
Hey, you seen I got a new smoker, and this thing will smoke. You heard me? Look, and we'll get it together. Trust.
All right.
And you ain't got to get me no gift, Teach. I should be getting you gifts. Shoot.
Respect.
Respect. All right, family. Again, it has been my honor. I intend to, you'll see in the event that it is replicated every month. I think it is the first Saturday or second Saturday of every month, second Saturday of every month. So we're gonna do this. And if you didn't get a question answered, remember it, write it down. If something comes up between now and then, write it down. Nothing's off base. Ask me anything. I'm, you know, as I get older, one of the things is that I'm really grateful for is that I matured. And even in my maturity, I matured to the place where I value my own character enough to never tell a lie. But as I've gotten older, it's even better because I wouldn't be able to remember the damn lie. So, so it's just easier, you know? So you feel free. You ask me anything, I'm gonna tell you. So again, health and wellness on every house, and vitality and longevity in every day and every life. Thank you all.
Thank you, Bo Peter.